Birds of a Feather on A2D Radio. Welcome, everyone. We are live on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Instagram. You can download us on Apple Podcasts, Stitcher. You can watch also from Twitch. I almost forget Twitch, but we are on all platforms streaming live. It is myself, Chucks. Chrome is not here. He's feeling a bit under the weather, which happens quite often with him. But we hope that he feels better. And he gets better. He gets better quick. But we got myself. We've got the usual panel of guys coming back. You got Kevin, Pete, Brodo, and Tom is here. Mr. No Notes. He will be joining us any second. Well, he's here. He just stepped out for a quick second, but that's why you see the 110%. He's getting ready to give you 110%, just like the rest of us. So before we get to our topics, guys, of course, we got to give a shout out, as usual, to our sponsors. Our Doc, Paul Vidal, Specialized Physical Therapy, LLC. Find them in Burlington, Cherry Hill, Princeton, specializedphysicaltherapy.com, and M-Buck Services, gutter cleaning for rotted board placement, deck insulation, restoration, tree trimming, other gutter-related services. Call 856-879-5530 or visit them at ambuckservices.com. Guys, another week of our positional rankings and live draft. We've done quarterbacks. We've done wide receivers / tight ends, even though there's only one tight end on any of our rosters. We've done running backs, and now we switch from the offense over to the defensive side of the ball. And for our poll question for this week, Aaron Donald is the best defensive player in the league. Agree or disagree? That poll question is brought to you by QB54, the best tailgating game in the business. Visit them at playqb54shop.com and use the promo code NONOTES to get 20% off. Gentlemen, how you feeling today? What's going on? Everyone good? Everyone safe?
Yes, sir.
Everything's all good over here in the studio.
Kevin has made his trip back from the Maldives. He thought he was in Fiji, so he had to get a different flight to return back. How was your flight?
We actually just took a ship up the coast all the way, my yacht. No need to get on a plane there.
No need to get on a plane. You're ridiculous. But yeah, Pete, what's going on, brother?
Hey, man, I can't complain. Trying to get my good side here.
There you
Might
go.
take a little while.
Put a pen out on the fly. Listen here, Mr. Green. That's your new nickname, Kev, Mr. Green.
I'll have the interns update it.
Been waiting.
Oh.
You guys missed it before the show. Kevin was talking about he's trying to find ways to get rid of the red on his face, and we were talking about makeup. Him putting on some makeup to get rid of some of that red, and I was like, "Hey, put some concealer on your face, you'll be good." But
Won't happen.
Yeah, thanks, Dad. Well done, sir.
Oh God,
not happening.
Well, I just real quick before we get started on the draft and get these picks moving, I just want to say thank you to everyone that's chiming in, that's listening in to our show. Amidst everything going on in the world today, I know all of us we need a little bit of a getaway, a little bit of get our minds off of things, and that's why we are here. We are here to give you a little bit of a reprieve from what may be going on in the world today. So we will try to provide you every week, as usual, with the best entertainment we got. So thank you again for tuning in and listening in. So this week, defense, guys. And as we said last week, we will be changing it up kind of. We're going to try a little bit of a different approach. We're going to combine all the positions on the defensive side of the ball. We're still going 3 rounds. And what we're all going to be doing here is we can draft any position that we want in any order. However, at the end of the 3 rounds, we have to have 1 defensive lineman, 1 linebacker, and 1 DB. But however you want to draft them, whatever order you want to pick them in, it's all up to you. Now, as Brodo brought up before the show, and to make it clear to all our listeners out there, when it comes to certain guys, like the edge guys like Khalil Mack, Jadeveon Clowney is even kind of like a linebacker too. How are we doing that? Those guys? Well, it's up to any of us. If we want to classify them and say like Khalil Mack, I'm picking him as my linebacker, we can do so. If someone else wants to pick him and say I want to put him on my D line, we can do so as long as we designate that player at a certain position. So those guys may be more valuable. You might be able to get better value picking someone who has that ability to play D line. So if you want to get, you want to put Khalil Mack at linebacker, get another D lineman, it's up to you. We'll see how it goes. But the poll question, Aaron Donald is the best defensive player in the NFL. We will tie that into the first pick. And the first pick tonight goes to Pete. He has the first overall selection this week. Then it will be followed by Ryan, myself, Kevin, Tom, and Chrome, who will be phoning in his or texting in his picks for the evening. So that's how we will get his picks.
When was this draft thrown out there? The numbers or order? When was that tossed around?
Sunday?
It was Sunday, I think.
Drive back. All right. I just smell some collusion. That's all.
Very strategic timing, huh, Tom? Right when you're driving back.
Driving back. Of course, that button was hit. Let me get that.
Yeah, let me take care of this now before he gets back.
There's going to be good players on the board at 5 and on. So
it's going to be really interesting because with all of us, combining all positions into this, the one draft, we're all going to get like some top tier talent. It's just a matter of what, who's going to go where.
Well, besides Kev, the rest of us are. The rest of us are going to get down. Kev, I'm not so sure about. Yeah, we're going to find out.
Like Gavin said, he's going to choose the entire Eagles linebacking core tonight. That'll be his team, just all of the linebackers on the Eagles.
Oh my goodness!
Can I do that?
Yes,
sure.
you can.
If you want to, sure.
I didn't
pick the friggin' fullback last week, so I guess it's all.
I didn't even.
Grabs.
I didn't see them on my sheet here. I must have missed them.
Well,
Pete, Pete, you're one, Pete.
Yeah, of course.
All right. Well, yeah, of course. 2 last week, 1 this week. I mean, we're just here giving out freebies. Well, my thing to you is before you even go, and I'm really curious where you go with this based on some age too. I'm really interested to see where you go.
We
really
think alike. We think alike because
I know where you're going, but I'm not going to say nothing. Yeah. I think I know where you're going.
Yeah. I mean, if we want to get, it can agree, tie it right to the poll. I agree with the poll. As you can see, I change my moniker from time to time on these shows when I'm on there just to spice it up and jazz it up a little bit. So you can see I feel like I'm the older brother of the guy I'm taking number 1. You see my last name tonight. So, and we both light-skinned brothers. I want to feel like we can I have entered him a little bit. I feel like I inspired him because I feel like he reached all the athletic potential that I was trying to reach, and just once I got to a certain height, it was over with. Like I just didn't grow anymore. Started growing out this way instead of this way, and then just didn't work. But I agree with the poll, and with the first overall pick, I'm not going to make it as easy as possible. Aaron Donald, all day, 29 years old. Thought about it. It wasn't as a no-brainer as we thought that mentioned TA, because just of the age, and we're thinking about looking at the long-term view, but he's a generational player. He's a first ballot Hall of Famer. To do what he does from the defensive tackle position and just literally manhandle, I don't think there's an ounce of fat on him. I mean, realistically, at all. We've seen it in Hard Knocks. The man is built like a freaking concrete wall, and he plays like it, doesn't miss games. So he's available, got his money now, and still doing this thing. Yeah. I mean, he's one of the I think he'll go down as one of the greatest players in the league ever of all time.
Yeah, and the only difference from him and Fletcher is just consistency, right? Like when Fletcher takes over a game, it's like that's the best D tackle in football, right? And the separation between Aaron Donald and every other D lineman in football is it doesn't seem like there's ever a game off. And I don't want to say off like a guy doesn't show up, where there's just nobody beats him. He's never quiet. You know what I mean? He's always going to show up at some point. So, I mean, listen, I can't argue with the pick. I didn't think you were going there because he was 29. I thought maybe you were going a different direction. But at the end of the day, I can't argue. I mean, anybody can argue with it. I think they're an idiot.
Yeah, I mean, I personally, I agree to the poll. I think it's an okay pick there. I think my only hesitation is because of the age, like Tom said, is I might have looked a different way. But to the poll, do I think Aaron Donald is the best defensive player in the league? Yes, as of right now. But opposite of what we're looking to do with the draft is to build for the next 5. Do I think that Aaron Donald would be the greatest player defensively for the next 5? I don't know. I don't know what that decline is going to be, if there will be one. But for me, it's when you have this conversation of who's the best defensive player in the league, it's a little bit tough to compare. And for me, it's exactly what you said, Tom. He's never quiet, right? You talk about corners. Corners can be great, but you don't really hear them as much because a team could shy away from their side, and that goes as an unsung piece. With this guy, no matter what, if a team is trying to run the opposite side and go away from him, he still finds a way to get into the play. So for me, I put him at number 1 as well.
Yeah, I mean, you look at it here, 94 games, 72 sacks. And to your point, Tom, and Pete, you mentioned this too, on the whole thing of, there's no days off. And not only on his side of the ball, but when you look at it, defenses, or I should say offenses, main game plan is to stop Aaron Donald. They know it. You know what I'm saying? He's not somebody who has the luxury of coming out of nowhere. Oh, you're not game planning for him. No, the main game plan at hand is stop that guy. And he still has consistent production and, obviously the production at that length. 5 All-Pro, 6 Pro Bowl, 2-time Defensive Player of the Year. He was the Rookie of the Year. And the funny thing is you really don't even have to put all those titles, the All-Pro and the Pro Bowl. It still doesn't really, I would say, culminate and kind of sum up how important he is and how good of a player he truly is.
Yeah.
No, I mean, absolutely. I mean, he's a game changer. He's a flat-out game changer defensively. You have to roll lineman to him. The double team. I've seen him triple teamed. And I would love to be a defensive player on that line that gets to play alongside of him. He's a generational guy. He is the best player or the best defensive player in football. And honestly, I don't think it's that close. Really, I don't think it's that close right now. Right now, there's other guys that are damn good, but man, is that guy just game in, game out, just dominant.
Worth every penny, man. And to speak to Kev's point, okay pick. I get it, Kev. Got to be the different guy. The only one that's a non-Eagles fan. But when we look at it, we're looking at 10 years. But for this is probably the most strategy that we've had in these rounds since, because it's been multiple. It's been one position group. I mean, we switched up wide receivers and tight ends, and even though I was supposed to only go 3 rounds, we ended up going 4. And still, out of that, only 1 tight end was picked. Was he the best one in the league? Bang for the buck? Yeah. Pound for pound, George Kittle's the best tight end in the league. Kevin, that's probably your best pick throughout these whole rounds. That was a shining moment. If Luther Vandross is singing at the end of the college championship, one shining moment for you, Kev, the spotlight was on you for that brief moment. And then it got swept underneath your feet by yourself. You did it to yourself. But for the next 5 years, if I'm looking at my team and I saw Chrome trolling because he said, yeah, it's a great pick, but my team with the full roster. Listen, I got Aaron Rodgers. I'm trying to win now. I'm trying to have that line, that toe on the line to win now, and got that gun right behind him. So I know I got a long wait before I pick again, but I can live with Aaron Donald and just do this for the next 25, 30 minutes. There may be an argument or two between now and then. We'll see.
Gotcha. So it's me now, right, Chuckser?
It is up to you. It's up to you.
All right, so
second pick. This is the highest you've picked out of.
I know. I'm uncomfortable. I haven't been up here yet. usually I'm not around until like the 40th minute. This is something here.
If you would like to trade back,
shut up.
Wow.
Shut up, Batanzas or Vitali, whatever the friggin' fullback is. I'm gonna make it easy. I could go young here, but listen, to Pete's point about trying to win right now, I drafted a friggin' 40-something-year-old quarterback way back when with like a 9th overall pick. So I don't have any time to win. I need to win now. That's not even saying this guy's old, but, I'm not going with somebody who's 24, 25, 26. I'm going to go linebacker here. He's one of the guys that could be either position in our format, Chucks. I'm going to go Khalil Mack with this pick as my linebacker. 94 games, 62 sacks, 3 All-Pro, 5 Pro Bowl, 1-time Defensive Player of the Year. Obviously he brings experience, and one of those another, kind of like an Aaron Donald, to where exactly where he's at on the field. 2 weeks ahead of time, okay, we got to start game planning for him. And you see, even though sometimes he's double, triple teamed, he still is an absolute menace when you talk about a defensive powerhouse like a Khalil Mack. I had other options here. Obviously, I could have gone, I'm not going to name them because, hell, if I don't name them, maybe they'll still be around later. Crossing my fingers. But to me, Khalil Mack, at the end of the day, he's a stud. And I think he's right up there as far as, top 3, at worst, top 5 defensive player in the league right now.
Nice. I mean, I'm not going to argue against that. I mean, you could argue that, like, you could even say that Aaron Donald and Khalil Mack are, like, in a tier of their own. I mean, you can probably include 1 or 2 more players depending on how you are, and I wouldn't have a problem with it. But regardless of what you do, Donald and Mack are in that top tier. So it's kind of the 1 and 2, like, they've gone pretty much as I expected, and you can't really go wrong with either of them. So obviously good pick.
And I'll add one final thing to this too. For the people, at home asking or wondering why I decided to put him in as my linebacker instead of lineman, at least in my opinion, I don't want to speak for you guys, but I believe that the lineman depth as far as availability in the draft, there's way more available top tier guys at linemen than there are linebackers. I think there's a bunch of top guys, and then it's everybody else. So I think there's a quicker fall off at linebacker than obviously linemen. So I feel more confident, somebody where I don't think I'd pick until 11 or something, to where there's going to be a very good lineman available instead of a linebacker, for example.
Well, it depends on what you want your linebacker to do.
Yeah, he can't cover. So that's the problem. That's the only problem with him is like he can play in a 3-4, but I mean he really can't cover. So if I was you, I would put him as a lineman because that's what he does well. He gets after the quarterback. That's his strong suit. So I wouldn't waste his talent at the linebacker. I still think there's going to be plenty of linebackers available at 11 that are really damn good and really young. Like, that's just my thought process. I'm not trying to build your roster. You know what I mean? Yeah. I don't want to build your roster, but I got Khalil Mack. I want his hand in the dirt. Go get somebody. You know what I mean? I don't want him covering nobody. I don't want him covering me. So that's how I would do it if I was you. And it's not, and it's still a great pick. Like, if you put him in the dirt, it's even a better pick. If you put him at linebacker, it's almost a reach pick. You know what I mean? Because you feel like in this scenario, your linebacker has to cover, right? You know what I mean? A little bit or enough, I guess, since we only have one.
It depends on how. Like, I think it'll the way we're doing this week's draft. It's going to be very interesting tying it into next week's when we start to do coaches. We start to fill out our head coach, defensive coordinator, offensive coordinators, because now depending on who your defensive coordinator is, that determines almost what scheme you're running. So if Ryan picks a defensive coordinator that's a 3-4 guy, he's got Khalil Mack on the edge as an outside linebacker, and then he's pretty much he can exclusively rush the passer, in that situation. So I mean, it's really interesting. I either way, like, because the Bears use them in multiple ways. The Raiders did too. Whether it's hand in the dirt, him standing up. So his forte is definitely rushing the passer. It's how you want to line him up. That's really up to you. And if you want to put him as the Joker, move him around, put him as a Joker. What they do with Tony.
Top 5 guy anyway. You want to slice him. You know what I mean? So in the dirt, he's top 2, right where he went. You know what I mean? In the dirt, he's top 2, or even going after the quarterback. He knows not to be in the dirt.
Honestly, the way I look at it, and it could be overly simplistic, at the end of that, I'm looking at it as any way I can get Khalil Mack and somebody else, a top caliber in the building, I'll get them in the building first and I'll figure it out later. You know what I mean?
You got draft for talent, right? No question. Chucks are a 3.
So this is tough again. Another week where I have a tough decision. For all I love all the comments here. Me picking an Eagles guy, and they're freaking hilarious. I do deserve that after reaching for Miles last week. So I get that, and it's all in good fun. I love it. I'm glad that people are sticking in, and that just shows that people are watching, right? So I have it down to 2 guys, and it's a matter of because like both of them are, to me, they're in the same tier in terms of talent.
I'm not falling for this trick again 2 weeks in a row, Chucks.
No, I'm just curious. It's a matter of what position I want to build with first. And I'm gonna go with the secondary first, surprisingly. I'm going to take a corner because I feel like corner along with defensive line, they're the two premier positions on defense that you need. You see corners drafted high and you see defensive linemen drafted high. And I'm a big fan of this guy, and he's young. So to me, he's perfect as my first pick. I'm gonna go with Tre'Davious White from the Bills. He's a top tier talent at corner, and he's again 25. He was first team All Pro this past season. So he's in that elite category, and he leads that Buffalo defense. For Sean McDermott. I love Tre'Davious White, and so I'm going with White, and that might be surprising, picking him over the guy in New England, Stephon Gilmore, but
he's 29.
He's 29, and I like the Tre'Davious White being 25 and still on the rise. And people can say that it's a reach, but if you think he's a reach, it's only because you haven't watched him play in Buffalo, because Buffalo's not in the bigger market as New England. Why do you think Pete needs a reach? Because
I'm not saying he's a reach, but for Tre'Davious White, I just don't know how offenses evolve, and we all know McDermott's system. I just know I wasn't a fan of Tre'Davious White's man-to-man skills coming out of LSU. And that zone scheme system, perfect all day. That's my only concern with Tre'Davious White. Were there other places I thought you could have went? Yes, as far as talent, but like you said, the emphasis that you put on the age, so I can understand why you went White at 25.
I mean, like I was looking at Gilmore. He's already 29. I mean, Richard Sherman is still one of the top corners, but he's old. Jalen Ramsey is another one, but hey, like I trust Tre'Davious White. I do. I can put him there, and I trust him.
I don't have any issue with Tre'Davious White. I love Tre'Davious White. I think you could have got him with your 3rd pick. That's all. That's not a reach because he's the top 3 corner in football. So, in my opinion, I'm not, I'm sticking up for you in that sense with people. Mm-hmm. But in terms of the way I thought this was going to play out, I think he's a guy that you could have got at least next round or even in the 3rd. I think he would have still been there because of he's a quieter name that not a lot of people are going to rush to. So I think you could have got him later. That's my only gripe with the pick.
Okay,
I love the kid.
That's fair because like I said, if you're arguing against his talent, I would argue against that. But if you're saying like the way the draft is going to go, I could have had him in the next round. I maybe. For me, it was either a defensive lineman or a corner, and I just went with who I felt was the best talent, and I like building with the corner. So corner first.
Kevin, Reacher, Uncle Reach.
So for me,
no more.
Yeah, this is obvious. This is so obvious.
This is so obvious.
For me, it's not as obvious as you think here.
I'll stop it.
Yeah, Quentin, he is a stud though. Quentin St. Tre'Davious is a stud. He absolutely.
To me, I kind of hinted at this a little bit earlier, right? Is when we talk about the cornerback position, too much for me is hidden there, right? When I brought up Gilmore earlier, it's kind of easy to hide at corner. Not taking anything away from Gilmore, but the numbers aren't really that flashy. You could put another guy up there that could be close, especially when you go older guys. Like Chuck's brought up in Sherman led the league in interceptions. So there's other pieces that could go there that aren't necessarily aligned with the defensive player of the year last year. So for me, I'm going to go defensive rookie of the year in Nick Bosa for my pick, defensive end.
That's a pretty good pick.
That's a good
Yeah,
pick.
I mean,
So far, so good, Kev.
Is it though? Is it though? I mean, take his goddamn brother. Who's better? I mean, come on.
I don't think he
I don't know about
is.
that.
I don't think he is.
I mean, and plus, his older brother already missed 13 games.
That's all right.
Yeah.
He'll be all right. Older brother's a little bit better though. I think. I always know he's a little bit better, but we'll see. I don't hate the pick. I don't hate it. That's a good pick. It's a good pick out of you. It's not bad at all. But I'm going to debate you a little bit with it. I'm not going to let you out that easy. When I think his brother's a little bit better,
When are we getting the surprise? When are we getting the Kev surprise this week?
I rate his brother a little bit higher. That's all. And I know he's missed a lot of games, but if he stays healthy and that defense stays healthy, they might be sitting where the Niners were last year, even with freaking Tyrod Taylor at quarterback.
Prism gets it.
They might be. Yeah, no. I don't not get it. I get it.
It's tough for me between the two. Like they have such similar games. Like I wouldn't argue against anyone that likes Joey better than Nick. I think I forget who pointed it out. I'm sorry, but the durability is something that to consider. So I get it either way. Like to me, they're both like the same. They have this similar game. They're masters of being technicians, and they're practically unstoppable at the edge. So I don't have qualms with going either way.
Don is very surprised. He's impressed, Kevin.
It's a lot of draft left tonight.
Just wait. He's got two more picks.
Started off really good last week and ended up taking a fullback. So there's plenty of time to ruin this.
There is.
I pick again real quick. Don't worry, guys.
So I don't know if anybody's going to see this one coming, but I'm going to go with the linebacker position, and I'm gonna stay really young though. I'm not going to go with the linebacker.
No, don't you do it.
I don't know. I'm going to go there with the one everybody thinks I'm going to go with. I'm going with Darius Leonard, who I think is going to be one of the best linebackers in football in the next 3 years. He's going to be in that class. So if we're building there, a guy's a ball hawk in the linebacker position too, which you don't see a lot. 5 interceptions at the linebacker position. Granted, he missed a couple games at the end. I get that, but man, what a difference maker. The second he stepped on that football field for Indianapolis, that defense changed. It went from flat out stinking to actually being a pretty good defense, with what they had. So I look at how do you change the game? At the linebacker position, he can cover, he can get after the quarterback, and he can flat out tackle, and he's a speed guy. And I think he can play any three of the linebacker positions too if you wanted him to. I think he can play middle, I think he can play outside, and he can play the other outside. To me, he's a sleeper a little bit because of where he plays, like same with Tre'Davious White in a way, and because their defense isn't at the Bills level yet. But Darius Leonard steps in, and your defense is 100 times better than it was the day before.
He has the most tackles out of anybody I have listed on here, and that's 284 as an inside linebacker. He has 12 sacks in 28 games as an inside linebacker, which is really freaking good as an inside. And again, 25 years old.
How many picks does he have over the 2 years? I know he had 5 last year.
I'll check. That's the one thing I don't have on here.
But he is a ball hawk. I mean, 5 last year. So, he's even growing in the more ball. But like you're right, right? Like the only other linebacker that does that is Bobby Wagner. So it's Bobby Wagner and Darius Leonard for me at this pick. And I love me Bobby Wagner. But again, I can win now mode with Darius Leonard or Bobby Wagner. So I might as well take the guy who's 24, 25 than the guy who's 29. You know what I mean? When I think they're very similar games, but Leonard does something even better than Bobby Wagner does. He takes the ball away more, picking the ball off. Bobby Wagner is a ball hawk in terms of creating fumbles, on tackles, but nowhere near the cover guy Leonard is, in my opinion.
Yeah, Leonard has 7 career. He has 2 his rookie year, and he has 5 last year.
Not many linebackers find the football. We got corners can't find the football in this damn league. So if I get a linebacker go get after the quarterback, tackle in open space, and pick the ball off, let's go.
That Gavin, I thought I thought you were going Queen there for a second.
Who, me? I was
Yes.
thinking about it, but I had nothing to go off of
Yeah.
at the level. If anybody, I don't want to say his name because he's probably going to go. But the only other guy I was thinking was a former Baltimore guy anyway, in C.J. Mosley. Like I was contemplating C.J. Mosley a little bit too because I love him. And the second he was stepped in New York, that defense changed before he got hurt.
Yeah.
So, you know, but there's still a lot of good linebackers left.
Yeah.
Did Cromer pick
Yeah,
in?
he did. So, very interested what you guys think about his first pick. I personally think it's a slight reach, but not if he's saying he's going with age 25 and under, and if that's the case, I can understand it.
What position? What position are you going on? Let me
For
see
his
if
first pick, he's going with a linebacker. So
Really? I mean, he quasi
His
could
brother's in the
have
league, probably.
put it on the thing. We could have put it up on the screen. We could have put it on the board.
well, it's with his first pick at 6th overall, he's going with Jalen Smith from the Cowboys.
Damn it, Chrome, another Cowboy? Shit.
Someone who because I was making my own board and ranking like the linebackers and everything. Jalen Smith was like 7th, 8th. But my list did consist of the older guys like Bobby Wagner and Eric Kendricks at 1 and 2. And then I have some other veterans on there like Deion Jones. So if he's going with younger, I can see the Jalen Smith pick. To me, in terms of talent level, I don't think he's on the same level as some of the other guys I personally have. But Jalen Smith is a baller, and he's overcome his injuries very, 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 very well. So I can't argue too much against that pick.
Well, I mean, the funny thing is when you talk about injuries, the funny thing is he's one of those guys who's never missed a game. So
yeah.
I like him, and I don't want to rip. I don't want to start like a debate with Chrome because Chrome's not, Chrome's in the chat, so it's hard, So I'm not going to do that to him.
The only debate is you could have got him. You could have got him 2 rounds later.
Exactly. Yes. Exactly.
Not about
but he does have the next pick though. So that's the thing though, and he does have that luxury of being on the button and now coming right back, and he can do.
Well, that's what I don't like about it, Pete, because it would have looked better next round. It's all about perception when you're talking about shows, right? It's all about perception. I like Jalen Smith, right? I really like Jalen Smith. So I don't want him to think that, it's a bad pick. It's just you could have got him next round with your next pick coming up right now, and you probably could have sat and got him in the 3rd too.
Yeah, I just can't. I just don't feel comfortable saying with a straight face that Jalen Smith is the 6th best defensive player in the league. It just doesn't sound right to me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, but at the same time, to his defense, we're not drafting based on the rankings. We're drafting based on team building.
Well, I understand.
Again, he did reiterate he's going with 25 and under. So he's focusing on the youth. So that already, like I said, it cancels out Bobby Wagner. It cancels out Eric Kendricks.
What's his next pick then? And then I can make this decision. What's
okay. I will say I do like his, and you're going to like it too, Tommy, by saying that you don't know who it is.
How can I like it? I go next. I might be.
No, he's going with the older brother. He's going with the older brother.
He's going with your guy. He's going with Joey Bosa.
Yeah. Okay.
See, and to what your point was, you can say that. You can say that if he had gone Joey Bosa in the 1st round and then went Jalen Smith 2nd round, we would be like, okay, feel better about it. But that, knowing that the first pick was only Jalen Smith was kind of like, where are you going? But yeah, I like him going with Joey Bosa as his 2nd round pick.
Totally redeemed yourself.
Maybe Chuck's just read the picks backwards. Maybe it was Joey Bosa first, then Jalen Smith. Maybe it was collusion. Oh, there you go. So he typed it wrong then. He typed it wrong.
Receipts. Autocorrect.
Yes.
Autocorrect. All right. So Tom's back up.
Hey, yeah. All right, so this one's a tough one, boys. It's between 2 guys for me, and we're talking D-backs. I'm a big believer of winning up the middle, right? So I stay in safety position. I'm not going to go to the corner position. And it's between 2 guys.
Don't you
Do it. Come on, go with my guy. I'm going to love you if you go with my guy.
Don't you take my son.
Between two guys. I'm going to tell you what I think the difference maker is.
Okay.
I think one covers better. I think one's a little tad overhyped when the other one just quietly goes about his business. And the one who quietly goes about his business is Eddie Jackson. Quietly goes about his business and is one of the best safeties in football on one of the best defenses in the National Football League. All right, you take Eddie Jackson off the field for Chicago Bears, they're in trouble. You take Jamal Adams off the field for New York Jets, they're still in trouble. Right? Jamal Adams came. That defense isn't light years better. I don't think he's as good a cover guy as Eddie Jackson is. I think he's great in the box.
Jackson's a ball hawk, man.
Yeah, Jackson's a ball hawk. I love ball hawks. I love guys who can cover. I think he's one of the most underrated guys nobody talks about in this league, and I can't believe it. Nobody talks about Eddie Jackson. Everybody talks about Jamal Adams. You hear about all these other Landon Collins, Clinton Dix guys. Like Eddie Jackson, 26 years old, right? So he's a fringe guy because I'm trying to stay with Chrome, like 26 or under. So he's at like that fringe age. But quietly, in my opinion, it's just my opinion, I think he's the best safety in football, especially the best safety in football nobody talks about. So
okay, you can get that.
I don't know a few guys over him.
I don't think Jamal Adams is. I think Jamal Adams is really good, but I think Jamal is a little overhyped. I don't think he's as great as everybody makes him out to be. I really, truly don't. I think he's very good. Very good. Eddie Jackson's better. And the numbers speak for it.
As well, I mean, okay. He's a ball hawk. I just think as a free
he can tackle.
He can, but his free safety skills and that center fielder, his instincts and his intuitions, you can't teach that. You can't teach that. And he's been doing that since Alabama.
Prison. It's a passing thing. Oh, it's a passing thing.
I was about to say what Quinn and Prism are trying to make a case for Jamal because he's a better hitter and all that. I get that. But like to me in today's league, and this is just me, I prefer a safety that is a center fielder who can cover over an in the box guy that can just tackle. Like if I were just comparing the two, give me the center fielder. I think that's a more valuable position. So I do have Eddie Jackson ranked higher than Jamal Adams. And I love Jamal Adams' leadership, his demeanor, but Eddie Jackson, he's definitely underrated. To me, he's like I'd say he's probably like my third or fourth ranked safety roughly. And I do love him a lot for what he does in Chicago.
Quentin, do you like the two picks, Quentin? That's why I'm asking. I want to ask Quentin, do you like Leonard and Eddie Jackson? We said, oh my God, like, do you think trying to stay like 26 or under, they're great guys to build your defense around? You know, I'm not saying, Adams is a better hitter, like Chuck said. I don't disagree there, but like he can tackle well enough in open space, right? I'm not gonna say he comes down and play in the box, but he can.
He's not a liability.
Yeah, he can tackle. So it's what it, when you're talking about today's NFL and a pass happy league, I need to take the football away, and a lot of it. Not that Jamal can't cover. It's just sometimes I like going. Sometimes I like going for that sleeper guy in a way, if that makes sense. So, thanks. Okay, cool.
And so
making a guy feel better.
So I like that pick of Jackson there personally. I think really the unsung thing is the hands. You got to remember when you're playing defense, the open field tackling isn't as necessary as a strong suit if guys are afraid to throw near you anyway. Right? If you're a ball hawk like you are as Jackson, you're filling up that middle of the field to where you're not necessarily worried too much about hitting guys there because everything's going to be outside of you anyway.
Shut up, Don. You just don't like him because he beats up on you boys. Don't like him. Shut up.
Some bias talk here.
Listen, I don't need to hit nobody. I think Darius going to have to hit everything that moves. So just go take the ball away, Eddie. Darius will protect you. And I got a sleeper at the D line coming up too. When my pick in 2 years from now, so I got a sleeper come up at the D line position too. So like I'm all in right now. I'm excited. I'm gonna be young and we're gonna come get you. Maybe the fastest team too. We're based on speed.
Oh damn! I know where you're going. Damn.
I think he's gonna be there too.
Yeah,
I think he's gonna be there.
All right. Well, who's next, Kevin?
Yeah. So
Oh, great.
we're all about the family here, right?
Stop it! Shut up!
A2D.
Yeah.
We're on air here, with the family. We got the family in the chat. I was with my family, my brother this weekend, hanging out, talking football, talking fantasy. So I got to go with another family guy. I'm going to take TJ Watt.
Wow, that's a great pick.
It's
a great pick.
Hybrid linebacker.
Look at the restraint on Kevin to not take his boy.
Like he went family. I'm like, where the frick is he going?
I thought he was going like Patriots family. I'm like, oh, we know what
No.
this is. We know what this is. Yeah, that's a good pick. That's a good pick.
I can't.
Damn, he must. Pete, he's really gonna have to screw up his third pick. He's gonna have to really screw this up.
I'm almost tempted to have another motion that we do another fourth round, but make it where you have to take a corner, because we're kind of moving through this, and it's moving fluid. Nobody's arguing yet.
Yeah, don't tempt me with a good time.
You know what I mean? So
If you want to call an audible and do one, we'll see when we get to the third round.
yes.
Chuck's like, you gonna pull my arm?
Yeah, you can pull my leg. All right. Well, are we?
Who is this guy? I don't know that man down.
Girl, wait. It was first two rounds last week were good, so we gotta.
The third round is where you guys get your surprise. So
is that a clone that took over Kev's body?
No, hold on. How many more do I got? So I'm up again. That's round 2. Why do we have to? We should have to pick up all our picks.
You still have 7 more to go till you.
No, I know, but we should have all our picks running. There we go.
There you go.
So, do we want to do a fourth round?
Yeah, just roll with it. Keep rolling it.
Okay.
If we keep drafting fast like this, I think we're golden.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, how do you want to do it? Do you want to make it so you have to take another secondary player?
Yeah. That way we have 2 secondary players. Yeah.
You got to corner. You have to go safety. If you went safety, you have to go corner.
Oh, I'm done.
Right.
Done. I love it. I love that we did this because now my pick is easy. I'm gonna go with my.
You're up. I was like, what the hell is he talking about? I think you're right. Like, how's your pick?
I'm gonna go with the guy who I think is the best safety in football, but people have kind of forgotten because he was injured last year. That's Derwin James. I think Derwin James is a game changer.
You shut up. Would you shut up? Because I was going to take him. I was going to take Brady, and I was like, I feel like I was going to get smoked for it because of the injuries. But you heard it when we had the interview, Pete, right? I couldn't speak highly enough about his teammate Derwin James, right? I couldn't say it enough how that's one of my favorite players in the NFL. Freaking love Derwin James. We put that on a freaking tee for you.
Oh,
God
love
damn
him.
Yeah.
If you've gone, so either way you would have picked, I would have loved it either way because I love the Eddie Jackson pick.
They both do the same things, right? I think Derwin probably hits a little bit better, but does same things though. Is a ball hawk.
Yeah,
I love that pick. Shit,
yeah.
I hate that.
It's a chess piece, man.
If it weren't for you guys deciding in the fourth round, I would have gone another direction. But with him there, I mean, to me, again, best safety in football because of all the things he does. He's a freak. The fact that in that draft, I mean, was it 2018 draft? He fell all the way to the Chargers.
Yeah.
The Chargers were
the top 3, right? I mean, they're top 3, and then whatever order you want to say, either James, Jackson, and Adams are my top 3 safeties in football. So I wasn't shitting on Adams earlier when I was like, well, he doesn't do this well, at all, because I would take any one of them 3 and be in love.
Yeah. A lot of people like Minka too, what he did in Pittsburgh. A lot of people ranked Minka high too. But I mean, I love Derwin James so much. So I'm not too worried about his injury. I think he comes back, and I think if the Chargers are a contender this year, if it's a big if, Derwin James is going to have a lot to say about it. He's going to be a big reason if they are a contender. So we'll see what happens. But I love Derwin James.
Uchenna said that too. Even when he's on the field, how that whole defense changes. So it was cool to hear that because we all thought that. Yeah, but maybe the best team in the football if they stay healthy, right?
Yeah.
You won't talk about a clone of the Niners. It's the San Diego Chargers defense.
Yes, yeah. Look at that defense.
Literally clone at all levels. All levels go get you. All levels are young. All levels are exciting. I mean, to stay healthy 1 year, San Diego. That's like my closet team that like doesn't matter. Like I just like watching them. I'm not gonna ever root for them like that. But I just like if the Chargers are on, I'm like I'll throw some money on them. You know what I mean? I throw money. After week 4, before weeks 1 through 4 with Phil Rivers, I'll never put money on them. But after like maybe week 6-ish, I would start putting money on the Chargers because they always stick the first like 4 or 5 weeks, and then they would always rattle it off every year. It's a great pick. Great pick. I'll be right back. Pissgate
it is. All right.
Is it me? Is it me?
Yeah.
Yes.
All right. So going back to last week, Pete, Chucks, Kevin, what was my theme last week when I took Ezekiel Elliott, Josh Jacobs, and followed it up with Kareem Hunt? What did I say you can call my running back group?
I forget. Jeez.
The Bad Boys. It's the Bad Boys.
The Bad Boys. The Bad Boys. Okay.
I'm going to continue that theme today.
I know you're going with.
And I absolutely love him. I love him. Now, he had a little vacation at the end of the year last year.
I wonder why.
He's going to come to my team, and it's going to be all forgotten. It's going to be moved on. And, hey, he's still quite young. Has a little bit of injury concerns, but I just think as a raw talent, and obviously what he's done so far, 31 sacks in 37 games played, already a Pro Bowl. He's missed 11 games in 3 years, hence why I didn't pick him earlier. But to be able to get him here, I'm very, very happy. You're right, Chrome. Mr. Myles Garrett.
I knew it. That's Ryan. That's who I was going to take if we weren't doing the 4-round thing. So
gotcha.
Not only am I happy, but you're happy too because I would have taken your guy.
I hope he gets suspended.
Listen, I've got Brady in there. He's for the culture. See, you think I drafted him to play? No, I'm bringing in all these guys to meet Tom Brady. It's going to be fun.
Tom settles everybody down. I love it. I gotta wait for you.
He's never going to see the field. He's going to be their friend. He's going to be their mentor, and they're going to be great.
Everybody's drooling over Giselle. Love it. Win-win.
Exactly, Quentin. No helmets on my team, though, so we'll be fine.
No helmets.
We have a no helmet policy.
It's very eclectic.
That's a good
dude
pick
too,
right
man.
there.
It's all right when you pair it with Khalil Mack and Myles Garrett. Yeah, you can get after the passer. Somebody got to cover the middle of the field, though. So I mean, I'm curious to see.
I'll worry about that later.
His mustache alone is thick enough to cover the middle of the field.
Don said that's Mason Rudolph's worst nightmare. Yeah, well, guess what? Guess who we're playing week 1?
So, is it on me now?
It's on you.
Yes.
All right. So,
don't you do it. I know exactly what I know what you're thinking.
I'm just trying to think if I want to go middle of the field or do I want to cover? Do I want to shore up my back end and just get a straight dog and a winner?
Damn! Don't you?
And a hitter whose his name has already come up. And yeah, man, I can't pass on him now. I can't. I'm going Jamal Adams here. Going Jamal Adams.
There it is.
And I mean, Eddie Jackson would have been good. Me and TA think too much alike. So I'm going Jamal Adams there. To pair with Aaron Donald, got my stud in the middle on the line, stud on the back end, dumper. And this one though, I don't know if you thoughts on Jamal Adams real quick.
I like Jamal Adams.
Mm-hmm.
I really like Jamal Adams. To me, I think he's like he hasn't gotten to that level yet, but I did see a lot of I understood a lot of the comparisons to Brian Dawkins in terms of playing style.
I was just thinking that in my head.
That was the popular comp when he was coming in the draft, and I understood it. Like the leadership, the intensity, the play style, it's very similar to what we're reminiscent of B-Doc. Adams just has to get I mean, part of it has to do with him being on the Jets on a bad team, so he doesn't get the love for some of his play. But he's got to get to that tier. He's got to get to that level of play. I think he will. I hope that all this talk behind the scenes with him in the Jets, about him being potentially traded and everything, I hope that doesn't affect his play coming into this season.
I think he's too much of an internal motivator to really let that affect him. No.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Kev.
I was gonna say I like Adams a lot. I think Chuck's was spot on. I think he's a product of a bad team as far as numbers and where the level of his play could be. I think they asked him to do way too much on that team because there's not that much around him, and they are playing from behind a lot with the lackluster offense. So it's a kind of a have to play in a low scoring type game. He's got to play, at 110% every single down, every single game. I think if you pair him with an Aaron Donald who takes that upfront pressure off a little bit, lets him play back and, have a little, less need to cover everywhere. I think that's a great pairing. I like that pick.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. So just a quick recap, if we have it here. Ryan, you got it?
Yes, sir. So number 1 overall, Mr. Pete took Aaron Donald. Number 2 overall, I went Khalil Mack. Number 3, Tre'Davious White from you, right, Mr. Chucks? Chucks, you had 3?
Yes.
Yes.
Nick Bosa, number 4, with Kev. Darius Leonard, number 5. And then Jalen Smith, number 6, rounding off the first round. Starting off the second round, Joey Bosa. 8th overall was Eddie Jackson. Number 9, TJ Watt. Number 10, Derwin James. 11, Myles Garrett. 12, Jamal Adams.
There you go.
All right. So round number 3, to kick it off. I'm going to take somebody whose first name already came up, but it was the wrong one. It's the wrong one. And we just saw somebody put it up. I forget. I think maybe in Quentin. He said Jamal Adams had to pull the triggers. That's what the Eagles need to do. And this is also another player that Howie had a chance to pull the trigger on. And because you are doing 4 rounds, I was going to go in a different direction with the linebacker here. I was going to go with a young pup linebacker. And I'm hoping, I'm not even saying his name, I'm going to speak it into existence. I hope he comes back around so I can finish off the night in the 4th round. But I'm going Jalen Ramsey here. I can't pass him up. The correct Jalen is going, who should have went in the 1st round, arguably.
Yep.
25 years old. To me, arguably the best versatile corner in the league.
Facts.
So now I'm looking at Swagger with Donald. I'm looking at Adams on the safety. Jamal Adams, Jalen Ramsey. I mean, I won't say nothing else. I'm just gonna write it down. Y'all can talk amongst yourselves.
Listen, you know how I feel about Jalen Ramsey. That's my guy. All right, and I was gonna take him if you didn't. So I'm happy about that side of it. We think alike, and the fact that he is only 25, people forget about it, man. People forget because he ran him. This is what happens. The guy runs himself out of somewhere, and people automatically want to think he can't play, and that's what happens in society as a whole, not on this panel, but as society. And it happened a little bit here tonight where he dropped because, he sort of goes forgotten because people think there's extra stuff off the field when there isn't. He's a good teammate, always been a good teammate. There's never been a knock on that. So, I love the pick, Pete.
Especially here. 3rd round.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Value.
Kev up now? Or Ryan?
No, Ryan.
Ryan's up.
Damn, I still got a ways to go here.
I'm so friggin' torn. I'm getting. It's between 2 guys.
Okay.
Do I go an absolute killer in the backfield, or do I go position? You could say value, and then you grab, I would say, the deeper position later.
I'm not telling you what to do.
But just don't make the mistake, right?
I'm not telling you what to do.
Damn it. Okay, I'm gonna do it. I love him too, and it pains me that I somehow don't even like making this pick because how much I love the other guy. But I'm gonna go Minkah Fitzpatrick here. I'm gonna get my safety here. Number one, can we all agree that no matter what the situation was, he should have never been traded, and the fact that he was traded, and you saw what he did immediately for the Steelers. Immediately, he was all over the field, all over the field. And what? He's only 2 years in the league, 3. Still a kid. He still hasn't even reached his potential.
I think he's like 23 or 24.
Exactly. So I could have gone with, and that's not the killer in the backfield I was talking about, but still somebody who gets. I think he already has 2 or 3 touchdowns in the league. It's such a a young career. And Quentin says, I understand. He said, give me Lattimore over Minkah. Lattimore, at least in my opinion, he's not up there. I think compared to the first couple of years, I think we all agree in the first couple of years he kind of jumped off the page. It's kind of evened out a little bit.
Yeah.
What is this? Yusuf says Ryan could have gotten Jalen Hurts and put him at safety, basically a Taysom Hill on defense. That's true. I couldn't. I didn't think of that, Yusuf. I didn't think of that.
I mean,
I love Fitzpatrick here, so I'm going with him.
I think we may see a run on these corners though, because I just think there's going to be a premium at that, where somebody may be forced to take a young pup.
Yeah, right.
Really hasn't proven anything yet. You know what I mean? So we'll see.
He's a corner.
Yeah,
so make sure you go safety next if you have
it. No, Fitzpatrick's a safety.
Yeah, no, he's a free safety, right? Isn't he a free safety or a strong safety?
He's a safety.
Point. I thought he played both at one point.
He could.
He came a safety though. Yeah.
Right.
Play corner at all? At all? Not this year, but at all.
Slot corner. He split time between slot corner.
Okay. Yeah. I just don't think I was going crazy. Sorry, Ryan.
You're good.
At some point, he played at some corner position. I didn't they made him and hey, find the football one time, right? I mean, you talk about a move to a position that obviously changed his career, and his career path. Wow. I mean, hopefully that's anything for Jalen Mills.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's a great pick there, Rye. And I'm not happy that you took him here, but I'm happy that you went here because it kind of reassured me on who I'm going to take in 2 picks. This is a definitely sleeper guy, young guy that I like there. So, great pick.
I don't necessarily like that I reassured a pick that you're about to have. I don't know if that's good. I don't know if that's good. I don't know if that's an indictment of me or not. I don't know.
I wanted Mink on the Eagles last year.
God, I wanted him more than Ramsey. I wanted him more than Ramsey
because I love what Minka
I think he was the better pick to be there.
What Minka can do in terms of being a movable piece. He would have been the Malcolm Jenkins replacement, He could come in and now he would have been able to do what Jenkins does, but how he didn't pull the trigger. It is what it is. But I love Minka.
I was just going to add real quick, Chucks. I've gotten in so many and most of them we've been arguing with people on the Tuesday shows. Last year we were talking, a lot of times on shows that out of the guys that we kind of missed out on, not only last off season but around the trade deadline. When you talk about Slay the first time, and you look at Ramsey and Clowney and Von Miller at one point, Emmanuel Sanders, Chris Harris. I've always said that the guy, in my opinion, that was at the top of the list of the guys we truly missed out on wasn't Ramsey or Clowney. It was Minkah because he could do so many different things.
Think about what was given up for Minkah compared to what was given up for Ramsey.
Yeah, I mean, you look at the Rams; they gave up. Go ahead, Tom. What were you going to say?
I would still give up for Ramsey, and it's not a shot at Minkah. Yes, Minkah was more value for what they gave up, right?
Yeah. That's
I would still make that Ramsey trade first all day and twice on Sunday, and my backup plan should have been Minkah. I should have been able to get one of them too. To your point, so whatever one of you wanted, however you valued them, A or B, doesn't really matter to me because they're both really good players. So any way you value them is fine to me. But I was all in on Ramsey, and I know Minkah went and did a bunch of things quickly in Pittsburgh. It's fucking fly. I know he did. It was like a swipe. Wait, messed.
That'll be clipped. Sure
will. Now I wish my door was locked because now an intruder comes in, I'm in trouble. Why? Now I'm expected to do something with this piece here. You know what I mean?
Oh my gosh!
There's bat in every room in the house right now.
Oh Lord!
I don't trust George Soros, so I'm scared Facebook's going to take this down now. They'll take it down. Do a little homework. Billions of dollars. I don't trust them. Neither should you. Lock up, people.
Lock it up. Lock it up.
Unless you're in like the deep suburbs, you're fine.
Deep suburbs. You mean the rural area? Talking about the
rural, deep.
Pine Barrens over here. Talking about like Island and
Ryan.
deeper.
Ryan's fine.
Oh, I'm in the middle of the woods. I'm fine.
Yeah, like I'm in if like Walking Dead happened, I'm probably second to go. I'm
right there with you. I'm not too far either.
Yeah. We're gonna get we hit the first wave over the bridge.
Yeah.
My property's like freaking Home Alone. All the trees, they're ready. Nobody's finding me in the woods.
Goddamn. We're getting overran. It's beats up on the beach. We know Kev. We'll have a green screen. I just get hit with a bat. We'll have a green screen of like him and somewhere like Greece. He'll be in Greece with a green screen.
I'll try to hide myself. I'll put trees back here.
No, shut the hell
up. See, the beautiful thing about with Kevin, he thinks where were you saying you were in last week? Fiji? But apparently we found out like 90% through towards the end of the show, he really wasn't in Fiji. That location wasn't even Fiji.
It's Maldives.
Listen, I don't.
Oh yeah, Mary.
Listen, I don't captain the yacht. I just go wherever they take me. I just hand out the dollar bills and the checks. Don't worry, guys.
Go where it takes you on this pick. Let me see yacht club.
Well, we got Chuck's is up on the clock. I got to wait a pick.
Sorry.
No, Chuck's is before me.
Sorry, it's on me, Kev.
It's on you.
He's just trying to rush back to his pick because he knows he follows me.
Simpson.
All right. So third round. I think at this point, looking at the names, I'm going through a lot of them. I'm considering like 3 or 4 guys, and I think I'm just gonna go with who I think is best between defensive line and linebacker, just the best player available. Like I think at third round, I can kind of be a little bit lenient on age. So third round, I'm just gonna go with who I think is the best linebacker in the game right now, and I'm just gonna go with Bobby Wagner. I'm gonna third round. I can't not take him. I was considering going younger, but Bobby Wagner is he's still too good. He's still elite, and I love his game. We talk who's it? Tom took Darius Leonard, because he's 3-down guy, does all of them so well, and Bobby Wagner, same mold in terms of he can do everything. He literally can do everything. And I remember someone on the Eagles when we lost to the Seahawks last season, someone on the Eagles was talking about that game and how I think it was Miles, and he was talking about how Wagner just knows. You can't fool him. He just knows where you're going to be all the time, and it's so tough to play against him. So
that's a little linebacker in football. I mean, if it wasn't an age game in the first round, I'm taking him over Leonard. You know what I mean? So the age game just came into play there, but in the third round, age goes out the window. That's a hell of a pick, Chucks.
Yeah.
Kevin, go
adorable, bro. Like he doesn't miss games like that.
Yeah,
that's the crazy part.
Yeah,
never, Pete, and he sticks everything that moves.
Yeah, it's crazy.
You know what I mean? Yeah, all over the football field, all the time. Hate him, but I love him.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Mister.
So the reason why I said there that Rye, that you kind of gave me my pick is because I was leaning either this pick here or Minka where I was headed, but because both Chuck's being locked here and both guys behind me not being able to get him, I know he's not going to fall on the wraparound. I got to go with the defensive player of the year, Stephon Gilmore, in the third round. I think that's a hell of a steal right there. 29. Still has a couple of years left on him. I feel playing the best best he's ever has later in his career.
That's not true. That's not true. He's been that good for forever. You know, that's the problem.
I think he's been. I think he's been this good.
It's a Tre'Davious White syndrome. He's been that good forever. Like, you know what I mean? Tre'Davious is young, but it's like you play in Buffalo, and that defense is always good. But Stephon Gilmore's been that good forever. He didn't just it wasn't a Bill Belichick effect that made him good. Stephon Gilmore is a top 3 to 5 corner in this league, hands down, and one of the better one-on-one guys in football. One of the better one-on-one. I'm giving your pick more love, Kev. I'm not shooting it down. I'm giving your pick more love. And this has been a guy who's been doing it for a minute. He didn't just start doing it when he went to New England. Giddy up. That's another good goddamn pick out of you. Even though some will say a homerism pick, it's not.
And no, I agree with you 100% as far as him being this good, in the past, before coming to New England. But I think that the football side of things, having a mind like Belichick on the defensive side, kind of tuned him up a little bit to be able to move around a little bit more versus just being an island out there. So I can't believe you guys let him slip to me.
Yeah, you done hand jobbing your coach. We know how great he is. All right.
I just couldn't let you guys forget.
Well, I can't let you forget Stephon Gilmore. I can't. Stephon Gilmore. I mean, Quentin told you he's good, but don't forget it.
Speaking of not forgetting,
Nicky lit him up. Don't talk.
I just want to say
quarterback that lit him up. That's a backup quarterback. Imagine what a Carson would have done.
They had a good one here. I love Corey Littleton. You guys know how bad I wanted him this offseason.
Yeah. Yep.
So everybody has a linebacker but me, which means I'm going to get my guy. And I'm just going to say this now. I may have been lacking so far.
Pete up?
No.
But no, I'm not up.
No.
Don't say your pick.
Public service announcement. Y'all done fucked up by the time I get to my pick again, because everybody else has a linebacker. And nobody. Okay.
I didn't fuck up at all. You know what I mean?
I'm just saying.
I got a puppy coming to get everybody. I mean, you can go draft the rookie. He's not going to be better than my puppy. Whoever you draft.
If he lasts that long.
Am I up right now?
Yes, you are.
Okay. So, as of right now, right, Darius Leonard, Eddie Jackson, my first 2 picks. So here in the 3rd round, you went up front. I want to be like 26 or under with my football team. And I'm going to go with a guy I wish the Washington Redskins didn't pick up. I wish I didn't have to see this guy twice a year. I know how good he's going to be. He's a guy I said, I want to take Patrick Queen because I haven't seen him play in the league, right? I feel like I've seen Chase Young play in the league, even though I haven't seen him play in the league. I've seen Nick and Joey Bosa play in the league. I've seen them all go up against the same type of guys in college, and Chase Young might be better somehow. He could end up being better. He's that dominant. I'm taking Chase Young right here, and I think I'm built to beat you the hell up. And I'm coming to get all you for a long time. I'm not just going to come get you next year and the year after. I might come get y'all for 10. That's what's happening here. Now, you could say, hey, Tom, little reach because you don't know. I'm gonna fall back on. Oh, I know. I know. This guy was flat out dominant against when you talk about where Big Ten linemen. We know how good Big Ten linemen usually are, right? When you dominate Big Ten linemen, like you're playing in, I don't even know, like you're playing in some shit conference when you're not, and that's how dominant. That's how dominant all 3 of them were. I mean, Nick, Joey, Chase. I mean, them 3 dominated college football in the Big Ten. That's how good all 3 of them were. And I hate Ohio State. That's how good all 3 of them were, though.
Chase Young, he was one of the guys I was debating about. Great pick. I think he is on that like Bosa brothers kind of level, and he could be better. He has I think he's better athletically. I think they're better technical wise, like technique and everything, but athletically, I think Chase is a better athlete, better raw athlete than the 2 of them by a hair. So I love Chase Young. I'd be very surprised if he isn't a star in this league. Very surprised.
You too, Chuck.
Right. That's my one thing. That's my one worry, though. Chuck has said it, where he's a better athlete. We all can see that compared to Joey and Nick. My thing with Chase, though, is playing in his hometown in front of those fans. How determined? What's his gear going to be? What's going to drive him on the inside? I think he can wake up and roll out of bed this year and have 10 sacks.
Oh,
I think he definitely
no question.
Yeah.
Hopefully
you
not
know what I
against
mean?
us.
Are you puffing? Are
Oh,
you
yeah.
puffing a little bit too long at your buddy's house? Right, the night before, got a little, maybe a cocktail or
Right.
2 extra. You know, little things like that can get you in trouble. But guess what, though? The one thing about this kid, though, no off the field stuff. Even at Ohio
That's
State,
true.
nothing you heard of. Doesn't seem like that kind of kid at all. So I'll give him the benefit of the doubt that he is a kid that can go home and not get in any trouble. And then sometimes the support at home's good for you, depending on your support system. You know what I mean? If you have a good support system, sometimes it's good to go home. Not everybody's Vic. Not everybody's Vic where they're going. They can drive from Atlanta to Virginia and pull that move. You know what I mean? So you hope that because in 2020, no matter where you play, you usually don't live there in the off season. So I think the only thing that changes here, he's not going to live in Washington in the off season anyway because he's going to get tons of money. So he's going to live somewhere nice. So he's just going to play there. So I think I'm trying to sell my pick here. You know what I mean? Trying to really sell it. I'm like a freaking lawyer for Chase Young right now in the art department. But I think he's a kid that can play there with no problem.
People are taking shots at Ralph without he's not even here.
It's eating up city. I mean, they should know. I'm glad they're taking shots. He's going to chew them up and spit them the frig out. I'm disgusted. With some fucking Andre Dillard, we go up and get it, he's going to stink. Guy cried. Guy got emotional. We're getting emotional. He's a sissy already. My left tackle's got to be a man. Jason Peters' nickname was a bodyguard. Not the guy has a bodyguard in front of a bodyguard. His nickname was the bodyguard. He's protecting you. My left tackle. It's the second highest paid position usually on my team. All right, I can't have a crybaby. I can't have an infant. All right, I need a grown up. So Jason got to come back for another year because I can't. I got to make sure. All right, we're good.
So what is it? Set the scene if they start protesting down Andre Dillard Street and they come knock on his door.
He might throw his girl in front of him.
Oh my god!
He's calling
Hey,
Jason.
take the dog. Take the dog.
Jason.
Yo, man, I really hope Dillard works out, but man, I've been saying this about Dillard since last year. That's why I didn't like him in the first round, and everyone's gonna be like, "Oh, he's soft." Like I told you.
This is why I was saying trade him, man, because he's not.
Well, you're not going to trade him. I still like him. Like, I don't know if you guys saw, like, Trey Thomas. He's okay. Chrome is apparently picking.
Well, we didn't say you could go yet, Chrome.
Listen, he can pass block okay, right? I mean, that's sort of what he did well in college. So I'll give him.
If you watch Trey Thomas's breakdown, and I'm glad Trey Thomas put it out because he cleared up some things I wasn't too sure of. Offensive line play, very difficult to break down. Very difficult. I'm still learning a lot. So I am not an expert on offensive line play whatsoever. So Trey Thomas's breakdown was great. The thing with Dillard is his hands, and maybe part of it is coaching because Lane does this too, but he drags his hands low and is a lot of the times he's late to punch. So
Forever 21.
Don is a fucking fool, yo. I swear.
He's picking up more shit than his girl does there.
Oh my god.
He's the type of cat who orders more off Amazon than his chick does.
Oh my god.
He's the type of cat that's our quarterback for the next 8 years.
Well, let's hope. I mean, he's got amazing footwork. Like his feet are really good, but he's got to get his hands right, and he's got he can move so well, and that's why I don't want to give up on him yet because you don't see offensive tackles move like he does a lot, but it's those hands and the technique that are so inconsistent. That's probably the major issue with him. And then obviously the mental toughness. He's got to stop crying at practices. He's just stop crying at practices. Like you get into a fight with Derek Barnett and you're going to cry.
Derek Barnett. DB's making you cry.
Yeah, that's the
on his own team.
I'm talking about Derek Barnett. Like
fucking Reggie White making you cry.
And that's guys on his own team too. That's in practice and he's crying against guys on his own team.
Yeah. Right. But in no way am I, like Chuck said, no way am I giving up on him. I still believe he can pass block well. I think he needs to work on run blocking big time. You know, I try to feel like I'm pretty good with offensive linemen because nobody really talks about him. So I try to talk about him, if that makes sense. But I really believe.
Is that true?
He's not going to Houston. We should sign him.
Jernigan. What the hell?
Checking right now.
We have a lot of defensive tackles already.
But I still think he can play. You know, I think, like Chuck said, he needs a little work. I agree with the hand placement a little bit. I'm a big believer in whatever you did in college. If you were that successful at run blocking, continue what you do, right? There's always little things you can clean up. So if that was something you were successful with at college, try to stay with what works. And if it doesn't work, then you make the adjustment type thing. So, but again, needs help run blocking. Listen, we're going to end this here because we're going to go on with these picks. But Jason Peters needs to be back as an emergency and a backup plan for this.
Maybe he will. Maybe he will. It's, you know,
I don't care. How much are they under the cap this year?
26.
They have a lot for this year.
Yeah, good. I don't care if you spend every fucking dollar. Makes sense? Like, I don't care. That's not realistic. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
For 1 year, I don't care. I don't care if it's 26. I don't care if you spend 20. I don't care if it's 15. I don't care if it's 10. You understand? You get it done. If 12 makes them come back and say, hey, it's not given to you, go compete, then so be it.
Yeah.
It's Ralphie talking offensive lineman is not the guy you want to trust when it comes to he would laugh every time I would say Jason Peters was pretty solid last year, and he would just laugh. Why? Because the only thing you can judge off of an offensive lineman is penalties. Ralphie doesn't. Ralphie's not.
Yeah, look at Ralphie's feet, babe. Yeah, you that a nimble cat? I'm gonna look at your footwork then. And I don't think that feet work well.
Dilla going to be
he's nowhere to be found in this chat either. He's nowhere to be found.
No, he's quiet. Quiet as he's probably with Andre Dilla right now. Talking about, please, Mr. Young, take it easy on me today, please.
He probably thinks the Riders are working their way down there. He's probably so locked up. He's probably trying to order a bunker off of Amazon. We gotta build the bunker, Grandma. We gotta build the bunker.
Get the meatballs, Graham. Get the meatballs.
How many can you make in 24 hours? We're gonna
we need a mass shipment of meatballs immediately.
Meatballs and meatloaf. Meatballs and meatloaf.
Oh my God, Downtown. No, stop it, Downtown. Juicy couture.
Hey, he stops. He swings back. He swings by Yankee Candle on the way home and shit.
Oh, not the Yankee Candle.
Dillard.
Yeah.
You have a good set.
I can't wait until the show after week 1, and I want to see what Ralph says. Hopefully, the Skins pull away with the win. Well, I can't agree with the last part.
No. Chrome says those meatballs are phenomenal, though.
They are. Yeah, they're very good.
They are very good. I will admit they are very, very good. All right. So we all saw his pick. Let me try to find it, but we all know what his Chrome's next pick was. And so with his pick in the 3rd round, he is going Marshawn Lattimore, corner, and he corrected himself, corner from New Orleans. So Marshawn in the 3rd round for Chrome.
I love 2 of his picks. I don't love that first one.
Yeah.
Yeah, he could have gotten Jalen Smith now. He could have gotten him here.
Sure enough.
Sure enough. I mean, any other qualms? Any thoughts on Marshawn?
Just real quick,
because we did touch on it a little bit.
Right. But no, like real quick.
Yeah, go ahead.
Kind of echoed off of it, where his first couple of years in the league, he was straight up all pro corner. To where his last year, I mean, he really just wasn't. I don't know if he was hurt, what was happening. I don't know if teams and OC started to figure out which routes he really wasn't that great on. But he didn't seem like he was there. I mean, he's still in the top 10, I would say. But I mean, his first couple of years in the league, he was closer towards top 5. Like he was in that top 5 conversation with the Gilmores, with the Ramseys in the league as far as top corners in the league.
Yeah, I
Well, how
think
much do you
Lattimore
think
here's a
how much do you think
Yeah.
he's fallen off from the top 5 thing? There's another
I mean,
question.
well, I just think he's not in the top 5. I would still say he's in the top 10 just over his natural athletic ability. But something just seemed off. So not sure but he can get it back. He can get it back. I mean, but once again, I mean, to me, New Orleans has probably one of the best overall complete rosters. Their weakness is at QB. That's really going to ruffle some fucking feathers right there. So that's just my thought. I think as a defense with Cam Jordan, with the linebackers they have in the depth, also now with the safety as well. Is it Von Bell that's there as a safety, I believe? And then now you got
Williams too at New Orleans.
Yeah, and didn't they get Chauncey Gardner-Johnson as well?
Yeah, at first, and of course we know that Malcolm's there now too.
Yeah, I'm saying Malcolm Jenkins there, so I think that's going to take a lot of pressure. So I expect a big bounce back year for Lattimore. But just if I'm just taking off of last year's tape, I would say he's more the top 5 to 10. Where before I would say he was definitely in the top 5.
Yeah, I like Lattimore at this pick here, being in the 3rd round. My issue with him is having a defense and having a team like New Orleans does in general, and having a high-powered offense, right, and scoring on almost every drive. You're forcing teams to now throw to get those big plays right back. And if you look at a team that had at least a decent offense, if you look at that 49ers game, that secondary still got picked apart. Like he wasn't shut down like he was in his rookie year when he won Defensive Rookie of the Year. I mean, to me, if you're going to be in that conversation, that top 5, you can't let that happen, right? You have to be the guy that I don't care how far behind we are. We can't throw your side because we know what the chances, what the outcome's going to be. And we saw it in that game actually on the opposite side with Richard Sherman on the 49ers. He's right there in that same conversation because of the age that Lattimore is now being younger. I would say, it's about a top 5 guy because, falling down age-wise off of his peak, but more shut down last year than Lattimore was. So
Noted.
Youssef says Von Bell went to Cincy. That's right.
Okay.
Jenkins replaced him.
I didn't think since he signed any free agents the way they were sitting on their hands.
waiting for what's his face Burrow to save him.
Yeah, Joe Burrow's going to play every position on the field and wide receiver because AJ Green's not staying healthy.
Oh yeah,
no.
Him and Mixon are going to be a 2-man team in Cincy.
Staying healthy would imply that he was ever healthy.
Chrome, go ahead. He said he's going to post his next pick. So whenever you're ready, Chrome.
Don't you friggin' do it, Chrome.
Well, while we do wait for him, I was watching a replay of the Saints-Vikings playoff game last year, and real quick, I know it's off topic, but it's just so funny to me, the irony, because you know how they lost in overtime on that Kyle Rudolph touchdown, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and then it was arguing it was offensive pass interference, but they didn't challenge it and whatnot. It's just so funny that the team that complained all offseason for there to be pass interference replay had another controversial call with pass interference to end their season the very next season. And then it works for them the other
Bounty Gate. It's all payback from Bounty
Gate. All karma. It's so, and like I was thinking about it because we've had our run-ins with Vikings fans and Saints fans. Saints fans annoy me more than the Vikings fans, to be honest. So that's just personally me. They just annoy me how they won't let stuff go. So rewatching that, it just brought up like how funny I thought that was, and it was how happy I was to see that happen to the Saints. But Chrome here did make his pick. 4th round, Buda Baker.
Interesting.
Very interesting.
Underrated. He's not picking him.
Underrated. I don't know. Like, would I have him even in like a top 10 safety? I don't know.
So Chucks, would you say that this is the Deebo Samuel selection of the defense?
No, because Debo's better.
Jesus.
I rest my case.
I don't know.
To answer your question, yes.
All right, so I'll change that. Pete, Kevin, and Tom, would you say that this is the Deebo Samuel selection of the defense?
Yeah. I mean, he needed a safety, so I don't know really where else he could have went.
To me, there was better guys out there though. This is I like that guy. Let me take him type of deal.
I mean, I like Honey Badger. I like Anthony Harris. I like the guy. Who's the guy in
You got a guy up in New York that plays better, a little younger.
New York.
Well, young in general.
New York.
Landon Collins. I would
He's
put up
in
there.
Washington now, sir.
He's in Washington.
Sorry.
Confused the
I
crap
forgot
out of me.
Kevin's starting to come back to us. Kevin's starting to return.
whatever magical potion he took is starting to wear off.
Yep.
The glass slipper is about to strike. The clock's about to strike midnight.
How old is Buda Baker?
Yes, you are.
25.
So this is my last pick, right?
There's Jeffrey. Also, there's Jeffrey Simmons in Denver. I'd take over Buda. So
It's
I mean, there are a
Simmons,
few
by the way.
guys. Yeah, there are a few guys. I like, and again, I love Honey Badger. I might overrate on Honey Badger more than like other people. I love how Honey Badger plays. So I'm a Tyrann Matthew guy.
He's like, yeah, I mean, I get it, Chrome. It's not a bad pick. He can play. It's just a little reach-ish, a lot-ish. I don't know.
Tom, what positions do you already have?
Lyman. I have Chase Young, Darius Leonard, Eddie Jackson. So now I got corner.
Okay. Yes.
Yeah, corner left.
Don't please.
Take my guy.
It's been through a couple guys. You know, Marlon Humphrey, a kid I love, in Baltimore.
Take my guy. Take my guy. Take my guy.
There's so many good ones.
Don't do it to me.
Like young. That's what I'm looking at. You know, these younger corners.
A baby.
I like Desmond King on the Chargers a little bit. Not enough to take here. But you know where I'm going? I'm going with a 23-year-old. And people might laugh at it. But I really love this kid. I love the kid's swagger. He's only getting better. And that's Denzel Ward, Cleveland Browns.
Ooh. Oh, okay.
I like that.
I can understand. I
like
forgot about Ward.
Between him and Marlon Humphrey to me, because I think Marlon Humphrey's gotten better and better, and he's part of one of the better D-back cores in the National Football League with the Baltimore Ravens. So I do like him. Not enough though. Like I've seen Denzel play more islandish at times in Cleveland. You know, I think I want to say he has ball hawk abilities. I think he's still growing in that role, but I think he's getting better and better. And I want your guys' thoughts on him. Or maybe there's some guys. I mean, listen, like I said, there's some guys I'm missing here that I probably could have taken with this pick. But to me, it was only between a few guys at this point.
Yeah.
When you're talking about age and when you're talking about, what I'm looking for. So
Ward surprised me. Even like when he was coming out of the draft, I was high on Ward. Maybe not as much as others because he was my second ranked corner of that class. But when he came out his rookie year, he played better than I thought he would play. And he's who said it? Quentin. He's a ball hawk. He is absolutely a ball hawk. And when you are a ball hawk and you create turnovers constantly, I mean, we had that. The last time we had that was Asante Samuel, and we know that all his flaws. You take all that into consideration. When you turn the ball over constantly, those are game-changing plays. So that can't go understated. I really am impressed with Ward. He's still young. I am high on him. I like the pick. I forgot, like Tom, you just said you might have forgotten some guys. I did forget about Ward a little bit when thinking about the younger corners, but I do like it here in the fourth round.
Ducks are another one too. I could have went was Vernon Hargraves, another guy I think could play on the island. another kid I think getting better, and another kid who's only 23. When you look at age and you look at like, can you keep getting better? It was between like they're the three. It was between age wise, like because they're both all three of them are like 23. Hargraves, Ward, and Humphrey are all real babies. Humphrey might be like 24 maybe, but they're all babies.
They're young.
I just think I think Denzel's played better than them guys.
I have a guy that I want to say, but I won't say it because Ryan still has to pick a corner. So I'm going to hold off until if he doesn't pick him, we'll talk about him after the draft. But there's a guy in that tier that not a lot of people talk about that I've loved since he was his rookie. But I'll touch on that later.
Now, to take out of those three, you said Hargraves, you said Humphrey, you said Ward. I think Ward is the best just based off of just skill set and what they've shown so far. But Ward also has traits that Hargraves and Humphrey don't have that you can't teach. And that's that ball hawk ability and his speed. You know, and so that's something out of those three. I mean, you made the best pick.
Yeah, okay, cool. Confirms it a little bit. Because that's sort of where I was going with them guys. And again, I like swagger guys at my cornerback position. I like guys like Darius Slay. I like guys that walk and talk it. You know what I mean? And I believe Denzel Ward is a walk and talk guy. You know, really is a passion guy. You see it translate to the football field. And I really love guys like that on my defense, especially at the cornerback position. You know, I know cornerbacks are little divas at times. You know, I don't think he's a diva at all. I actually think he's the opposite at the cornerback position. I think he tackles extremely well for a corner. I don't think he shies away from it like a lot of corners do. And you know how I feel about my corners being able to tackle. If my safeties can't tackle well, my corners better be able to tackle well. And I think he tackles pretty well. I'm not going to say he's like one of the best corner tackler in the league, but he don't shy away. And every time I watch him, I don't see him shying. You know, so I look at that too. So that wraps it up, man, for me. I mean, that's a lot of young puppies.
That's good.
Who's the next pick, Chuckster?
I think it's Kevin.
That would be me.
Kevin, just refresh. Which positions do you already have?
So I went first Nick Bosa up front, TJ Watt as my linebacker, Gilmore as my corner, and then I had to go safety here. So I was looking at one of two ways. I could go a little bit older, already having two pups on the team and have some experience. I could go younger and because I already have Gilmore out in the backfield, or I could really get both, and I can go after a 23-year-old that has 4 years in the league. You're talking about a ball hawk type guy that had 11 interceptions last year. You got Gilmore out on the island now. I already got my two. I got Bosa and Watt to fill the gap up front. I'm going Marcus Williams, safety, New Orleans Saints. I think the better of the defensive players as far as last year's showing, as far as overall consistency goes in New Orleans.
He had 11 interceptions last year?
Yes, he did.
Shit, was that quiet?
11 interceptions?
11?
I believe it was 11.
Wow. I mean, redeem yourself after the tackle miss one time. I mean, wow.
No, 11. You're talking about Marcus Williams?
Oh, sorry.
Right?
I read that wrong. Yes.
He had 4 interceptions.
I read the wrong on there. 11 overall for last year.
He's got.
Oh, well. He's still my pick. He's still my pick. I don't
He doesn't have 11 overall. He's got 10 overall.
Guy missing tackles. That's the guy you're picking. He's got a chance to go to the NFC title game. He goes Marcus Williams. Don't miss it.
You know how I was just talking about the Saints-Vikings game where the Vikings won with that Kyle Rudolph touchdown?
That inspired Kevin. That inspired him.
You know who Kyle Rudolph caught that touchdown pass over? Marcus Williams.
Hey.
I have no words for that pick.
Still my pick.
I like Marcus Williams. That he shouldn't be drafted here.
Maybe in the 7th. Maybe in the 7th round.
Marcus Williams does not. Even if he had 11 goddamn interceptions last year and I missed some, which I know I didn't. Okay, watch a lot of red zone and shit.
Thanks, Kevin.
Did it, Kev? Right? You had a hell of a day today, and you totally ruined it on Marcus Williams. Guys, misses tackles in the biggest game of his career. And you're picking him with all the talent at the safety position still on the board. There's a lot of talent there. There's some guys. There's some kids.
This is Kev going 4 for, like he's 4 for 4 coming up the bat in the bottom of the ninth, bases loaded, and he strikes out looking.
Guys, we still have, all right, just to go through a couple guys that I really like. Kevin Byard in Tennessee is a close to elite safety. I already mentioned Justin Simmons, talking about Honey Badger. There's and then Anthony Harris. Like, they're all better.
Maybe Kev just forgot about him. That's all.
Maybe.
No, the tackle. He's a guy he's a big redemption guy, Kevin. He wants to give everybody a little redemption tour on his football team.
Maybe
we'll get him too. Russell Wilson's coming for his ass, right? And Russell Wilson's coming for Mr. 11 pick liar. Kevin trying to sneak a bias. A guy with 11 picks last year. We're all like, who freaking 11 picks?
11 picks.
I mean, look at 11 picks. Who did I miss?
Yeah, I know. I'm pretty sure that would be close to a record, wouldn't it? 11 picks.
Kevin, you would have done yourself
top 10 safety in football. Marcus Williams isn't even top 10 safety in football. And please at me, everybody, if you think he is, because he's not. Sorry, Kevin. I'm just around. I'm just around to disagree. I have no picks left.
Kevin, you would have done a better favor for yourself if you would have picked Earl Thomas here, because at least you could say he's a team player, if you know what I mean. Not 11 friggin', not 11 interceptions a season. I mean, that's like on the you ever see that website fakeheadlines.com? That's the league title right now.
Yeah,
Marcus Williams, 11 interceptions a season.
Yeah, you're clickbait fraud.
You are fake news. You are officially fake news.
What's wrong with the media? You know, like I'm reading a headline, Fox News, police attacked across America, right? I mean, that's the kind of headline you're running with. That's your headline, right?
I read over my notes a little quick there.
Yeah,
we got no notes here. Notes can be deceiving.
It's 11 interceptions, 10 in the past 3. He's on an uptick. I believe in my guy. Still my pick, regardless.
I'll give you an opportunity to take it back. I'll give you one more. I'll give you a chance if you want to take it back. You know, time's yours.
Why does he get so many kickbacks?
I feel like
he's my guy.
Sorry.
I got to give it to Kev, though, because he accomplished the impossible. He somehow managed tonight to make the fullback pick not so bad anymore.
No, I don't mind Marcus Williams.
No, the fullback pick is still worse.
No, but I'm saying the whole 11 picks a season, though. I mean, that little wrinkle in there. Oh, who's next? Who has to follow that up?
I'm next.
I would refresh Chuck's. Who do you have so far in which position?
Yeah, I need to take a defensive lineman. I've got a corner in Tre'Davious White. I got a safety in Derwin James and a linebacker in Bobby Wagner. And I was trying to see if I wanted to go young because I don't want to have too many older guys about it. But again, I kind of fall into the trap of it's too good to pass up in the 4th round. I can't.
There's some guys that fell.
Defensive line, I'm going to go with a guy who, to me, is still elite. He still has maybe like 2-3 years of his prime left. I'm going to go with the best player available again. I'm going to go with Von Miller. I'm going to go with Von Miller at the edge. Someone who almost single-handedly won the Broncos that Super Bowl. And, being a former, he was the Super Bowl MVP that Super Bowl, right? Am I wrong?
You may have been.
Definitely wasn't Peyton Manning. I'll tell you that. Definitely
wasn't Peyton Manning, yeah. So, again, I'll name some of the guys I was thinking about going with. I was thinking about doing Daniil Hunter, who's a freak in Minnesota. I was thinking about doing Chris Jones, the interior lineman with the Chiefs. Definitely was debating him, but I don't know. It's just Von Miller. I see Von Miller up there, and I'm like, he's still too good. He's still right there. So I just went with Von.
Listen, the only issue I have with it, Chucks, is you're really in a great position to win now with Von Miller and Bobby Wagner. I think Bobby Wagner's a guy. I think both are going to give you production for the next 3 to 5. No question about it.
Something like that, yeah.
I still think they give you excellent production at a high level for at least the next 3, both of them.
Yeah.
But the only It's not even a critique. It's just you might not have the longevity some of the other teams
Oh,
have.
absolutely.
But you have to know, right? So you have the big key, which is I know they can play.
Mhm.
So the point devil's advocate both ways on it. You do, we talk about Von Miller and Bobby Wagner. It's both guys that are like, they're all pro guys. You know what I mean? They're all pro.
Yeah.
They might be a little longer toothage, a little saber toothish, but they're freaking all pros, and they're going to be all pros for the next 3 years, guaranteed.
Yeah.
I mean, Wagner might even be an all pro till he's 36, the way the league goes now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you might get 7 years out of Wagner, where you get like 4 out of Vaughn.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You're in good shape.
And that's where I live. Yeah, and that's where I live. And I have the 2 veterans I have, the older guys are on my front 7. So I got the defensive lineman Miller, and then I got the linebacker and Wagner. They'll captain my front 7, and they got the younger guys on the back end. So I have no problem with that.
Well, we want the family to know. I want to know who you guys think has had the best defensive draft so far. We love the family's opinion on that as well.
Yeah, chime in.
Yep. We got 2 more picks left.
Who's is it me or Pete? It's me,
You
right?
and then Pete to finish it off.
What do you have?
So,
What position?
so I still have to draft cornerback. The 3 guys I have so far are Khalil Mack. Then I went with Myles Garrett. Then I went with Minka Fitzpatrick. Here I'm going to go with the guy that I almost took, and I was debating taking with the Minka Fitzpatrick pick. In 5 seasons, he has 27 interceptions. When I was looking at that last night, even I was like, whoa.
You taking this crumb?
Once again,
Taking this crumb.
Marcus Peters.
Wow. Listen, ball hawk, but a crumb. Great pick. He was on my radar with my pick too, and I said, I just can't have the culture.
See, I already have it. See, I already dug. I when you start out with Zeke and then Kareem Hunt and go Garrett, I have to finish it off. I have to finish it off.
Stay high.
I don't know if his team's going to make it through week 8.
It's fine. Listen,
Guess what? When they blow up, I mean, you talk about he's like Jerry Jones over there. He wants the mayhem. He wants the press.
Yeah.
Ryan wants the press.
listen. I'm always getting money because I'm always in the news. Controversy creates cash. And listen, who am I to say? Oh, after making those picks last week and the few so far this week, to be like, I want a guy who's a really good locker room leader. What the hell? No, embrace it. Embrace it. We always talk about guys owning the room, sometimes better than others, obviously.
Right.
And once again, similar to Minka Fitzpatrick, this guy should have never been traded. As soon as he was traded from the Rams, he goes to a better culture, a better locker room, a better organization in the Ravens. The guy's all over the field. He's dominant. Yeah, I understand.
Ryan got hard.
Yeah.
He's got
Exactly. Listen, my team.
Can we take
My team might go 1-15, but they'll be entertaining because they'll be fighting each other on the field. Okay.
Another wide receiver pick, Antonio Brown.
Yeah. If we had 5 rounds with that, Antonio was my pick.
Oh my God.
He said you bring Greg Hardy in. Oh, Quinn. I'm hitting it, Ryan. Sorry.
Oh, is this you? I'm like,
It's me. Ryan got the Gridiron Gang.
yeah, great movie.
Don says, to be honest, everybody did good today. I agree, Don. I think it was.
Yeah.
I think everybody hell of picks today from the whole squad. And Quinn says Marcus ain't bad. I like Marcus, man. He's just a crump. But there might not be a better ball hawk at the cornerback position. Straight up, like
I mean,
there might not be like ball hawk, like Asante Samuel talk, like won't tackle me or you. All right.
Mhm.
I don't expect him to ever get his beak wet, ever. But probably the best ball hawk corner in football.
And I really, having the pairing kind of Minka Fitzpatrick and Marcus Peters, Minka, like we talked about before, he can do a lot of different things for you. And he's not necessarily a ball hawk. He's somebody that he could do everything. Friggin', like even, I knew Marcus Peters had a lot of interceptions, but when I saw 27, even I was like, whoa.
Oh, no, that's all he does, right? That's all he does. And he gets beat a lot because of it, because he takes a lot of chances. He really does. He gambles a ton. So, done. Yeah, he definitely.
The long and short.
All right, so listen, I'm gonna head the hell out of here because I got another show tomorrow to do too.
All right, big guy.
I'll let you guys finish. I'll tell the family the squad before I roll. Darius Leonard, Eddie Jackson, Chase Young, and Denzel Ward.
It's all right. It's all right.
And Frank in the back
20
end.
years. I'm gonna be seeing you for 20 years. That's what you guys
That's
got.
fine.
I got a 50-year window here to win.
Hey man. Well, I'm going pup here. So
you guys
going 20.
finish off. I'll stick around till you two finish. Let me stick around.
Well, no. So I'm on. It's just me now. It's the last one.
Ah, my bad. That's on me.
So 21 years old. I looked at. Arguably, I had the number one.
What position?
Huh?
What position?
Linebacker.
Yeah.
Linebacker.
Okay.
Linebacker.
Right. I like to guess in my head. That's
Are you going to take my guy? I want to see if you take my guy, but go ahead.
So I look at it like I already got the number one players at every position so far. Obviously, this won't be the number one player currently at his position. But I look at the team that he plays for and the move that they made to get him in the draft. And linebackers come out, especially middle linebackers, come out of this team where I can't remember the last time they had a bad one. And unfortunately, due to injury, something that happened, the one that he replaced, didn't work out so well because he was on his way to being a great. He was on his way to being a Hall of Famer. No, Quentin, I'm not that guy at all.
What division?
AFC North. Ran a 4.44 I'm going Devin Bush.
Yep, I know. I know where you're going. Hey, you talk about changing the defense there and the culture. The second Devin Bush stepped on the field for the Pittsburgh Steelers last year, that defense was good, right? Yes. Another big part. We gave we gave Minka a ton of credit for what he did when he went over there. But Devin Bush from day one showed he can play in this league and play at a high level in this league. I love that pick. I didn't know where you were going. So I was like, I need division now. I don't know. I was trying to think of all linebackers.
I was shocked he was 20. He's only 21. And I look at
year, right? Or was it?
He was a rookie last year.
Yeah.
And Pittsburgh usually doesn't make moves like that. They jumped up almost 13 spots to number 10 to get him. And they could have got Devin
Whip, boys. Right?
Linebackers. That's exactly.
They love their linebackers.
Had TJ Watt, and you go here with Devin Bush. I mean, these are damn good picks because, it's linebacker you or D tackle you, right? You know what I mean? Like they've always been known to have really good, strong D tackles and really good linebackers all across the board. Great pick.
Yep.
Yeah.
Great pick. So, I agree with Quinn. My team's got a lot of speed. Woo.
Yeah, a lot of the fam is commenting, overall everyone had like a good draft. And I do like Chrome's comment that's saying he enjoyed this draft more than others because you can clearly see everyone's strategies.
Draft. You did not. You're not even here. Of course you did.
Where my phone go? Drop my phone somewhere. We're flying.
Right was going on the screen.
I had to get out of there. I had to get out.
But I like to take some jabs.
Feel better.
I'm a jab cat. Kev had a great draft too. A lot of talk leading into it. Obviously, how he would screw this one up. I know the media really ran with it. Hasn't had a good track record. It was Howie Roseman on draft day, and really redeemed himself. And there's only one reach, and that was Marcus Williams. Still not sure why Marcus Williams was drafted tonight.
Because he has
11 interceptions. He has 11 interceptions.
11 fake picks.
Yes.
Listen, my stat guy, I need another stat intern. That's the issue. My stat intern.
707 picks. He put up 707 stats.
And for the fam at home, we have Frank in the back end. He's making a graphic right now, just kind of putting all 4 picks for each person. So when he has those done, we're going to put it on screen and everything, just to give a full refresh. Yusuf says, "I'm happy Tom didn't have a Trayvon Diggs type aneurysm." Talk about last week.
Would the Trayvon can play?
Yeah.
Yeah, Trayvon can play.
Wait, what happened?
No, Trayvon Diggs can play. That's all. Yusuf was saying, for me not to have an aneurysm again. Because remember, I was battling, I think, Rye with the
Ralphie.
I was battling Trayvon Diggs.
Yeah.
It was either Ralphie or the chat.
Somebody was saying that the Cowboys didn't have a good defense and they had a bad secondary and they weren't going to be good. And I was like, dude,
oh, no, that was me. That was me.
Like, yeah, I was like, look at their secondary. It's actually pretty good.
Yeah,
you know,
it's better than I thought.
Yeah. Because again, they have a sleeper. They have a quiet corner. Surprisingly, I probably should have drafted him. That's my guy.
I'm actually surprised. I'm surprised you didn't. Actually, I'm surprised. Let's see. Don says Kevin still didn't accept my intern application.
I got to go check back there in the, behind the studio. Must have slipped.
Back there. There is no back there.
Back there.
It's to your left.
Well, it's a big studio, guys. It gets lost.
His bathroom. Check his bathroom.
Listen, before I sign off here, I just want to tell everybody out there listening to be safe. All right. Be careful. You know, if you are protesting, keep doing it the right way for everybody that is. We appreciate you. We truly do for everybody that it's going overlooked. There's a lot of people doing great things out there right now. All right. And it's being overshadowed by riots and looting. But they want us to be divided people. Let's not let it happen. Okay. Rally around the right protests and just protect your own. That's all we can do right now. And we'll get through it because we got through. Listen, if we can get through what we got through the last 3 fucking months, we can get through anything as a country. All right. We got through 9/11. We got through this. We've been through things, as a country. We can rally. It's time to rally around your neighbor, your friends, your family, people you don't even know. This is what it's time to do. It's time to do it. I said it earlier. People are scared to say it. Just say it. Listen. How about we listen? Take a step back and listen to people. Try listening as a country to what your friend or your neighbor has to say. Try listening. Right? That's all people got to start doing. Right? And say Black Lives Matter. It's okay. You can say it. You can say it. If somebody doesn't like you saying it, screw them. Okay? Because they're not people you want to be associated with. All right? Oh, yeah, we all know. All lives matter, guys. We know this. All right? But right now, that's not the point. It's not the point. Know the point. All right? So that's it. Rally around each other. Unity, freaking peace. This bullshit's got to stop. All right? And if you know people that are doing it, this is when we want rats. Right? It's not cool to rat. Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
In this case, it is.
This is when it's hot in the street to rat. Right? This is when ratting's cool. All right? This is when we want rats. Rat on. You see people doing shit you think suspicious? Rat it out. Help police. Help every person in your town. All right? You see something that you shouldn't see? Rat out. Rat out. You don't got to take action on your own. Don't be a hero. All right? This ain't Walking Dead. Take action by making the phone calls.
As you have a bat in your hand.
Yeah. Not Tom McGinnis. I'm drawing a blank. Oh, my God. Lock all windows and doors. You know what I mean?
Zoom off.
Yeah. Again, I just drew a blank there. But lock all windows and doors. But really, guys, let's just think and come on. Let's rally. We're all worried about too many things. We've been through so much. Yeah. Every person. Like what we seen through COVID selfishness, right? We seen it right in front of our eyes. People can say, "Oh, I'm not selfish, Craig." We've seen selfishness in different ways, right? Can we stop? Can we stop being selfish? Or what? All right. And then I got one more thing that I got to get off my chest, right? People say, well, and there's always argument. Well, black on black crime. That's every inner city. We want change. We want to help out the inner cities. We have to educate. Education is the way out. Okay? It's not fair when sports are an easier way out than education is for a lot of kids. Okay?
Yeah.
So let's change it inside all inner cities, not just for black kids in the inner cities, but Hispanic kids, Asian kids, white kids, all kids are in the inner cities, right? We want change. It starts there. It's common sense. Everybody that live in the suburbs has lived in a little bit of bubble their whole lives. That's all. Y'all lived in a little bubble, me included. I ain't no hero. I lived in a bubble too, in a way. We're better than this, right? Civil War, Martin Luther King, Long time ago. 2020, people. Let's all grow up, rally around each other. Not worrying about the freaking president or anything else. Worry about the person next to you because we're all freaking family, right? We're all Americans. We're all freaking Americans here. All right? It's American. We're all one. When did we come to freaking divide? When is it divide in 2020? Don't let history repeat itself. Don't let history repeat itself. That's it. That felt good. Had it clear.
There you go.
Had it clear. Had it clear.
Woosah. Woosah.
We need it, guys. If you ever want to spit it. You know?
Yeah, man.
Get it out there because people need to hear it. People need peace. Nobody's talking up. It's about time some white guys talk the hell up. I don't consider myself white because I'm Italian, but it's, you know, whatever you call me white, I'm not white. I'm Italian. All right, the freaking. So I don't even play that. But at the end of the day, I've been targeted at a time in my life. I understand an officer can get aggressive for no reason. All right, and I'm not even a black man in the inner city. You understand? So just take a step back and just listen to what people have to say and understand what people have gone through and understand that we don't support anything. We don't support attack on police here. We don't support police brutality here. We don't support it either way. So it's time to make a change. We can do it. We make a change with all these other things in this country, right? We get all these other things passed, right? We're a country that everything's okay, right? No matter if you like a guy or two girls or whatever, you know what I mean? It doesn't matter anymore. We evolved, right? How can we evolve there, but we can't evolve on different ethnic backgrounds?
Yeah.
Come on, people. We're okay with transgender people, but we're not okay with our neighbor. We're okay with everybody. It's America. We're okay with everybody. Everybody. One of the main people that changed my life was somebody who was transgender. Changed my life. So don't just judge a book by its cover. How about we stop judging books by covers now, okay? And take people for who they are. If somebody's a scumbag, they're a scumbag. White, black, it doesn't matter. If they're a good person, they're a good person. Treat people how you want to be treated. You want to be treated like some of these people get treated?
Yeah, man.
Love you all. Love you guys. Love
you, big guy.
We gotta speak. We're a platform that for the people. We built this for the people. Any way you want to talk about it. If it's talking sports, it's for the people. If it's talking what's going on in this country, it's for the people. I'm not going to sit back and not use this platform for unity and freaking peace. I'm not going to do it. Let other people run from it. Let other people run from what's really going on in this world, right? Then they have an opportunity to be an influencer and make a change and let people run. And the one person I'm talking about is Dave Portnoy, all right? A Jewish man. You should understand. You shouldn't run. You shouldn't hide behind anything. We're not going to post it today. We're not going to do this. No, you guys control a majority of the youth of America. Your influence has so much effect for you to say something. Right? Wrong? The biggest companies in the world. So much effect on people. You know, I just thought that was inappropriate today. It wasn't anything wrong, he said. But no, you're the president of a huge company and a white Jewish man. You should absolutely be speaking up. How many youth are the ones doing this? How many young kids you see?
I'm gonna be honest, like real quick, as being being a person of color, this is a point in time where I really don't have to say anything. I ask all my brothers here on this platform, all the brothers in the fam, it's going to take your voice to let them know that this is not okay. We've been saying it for forever. You know what I mean? It's really not much more we can say or do as a black people because our voice isn't loud enough. And you see it, you're seeing the frustration with, as I said to you guys, it's really, the match was lit when the COVID started. And then when this happened with George Floyd, it was the gas that went right on the fire, and you just really see this, the outpouring. People don't know what to do with themselves because it's really something that you don't think that exists until it happens. And Tom, you said it. We have a chat here. Said really since in your video, Martin Luther King, what really has changed? Like how far have we really come? And that's really because, in all honesty, we truly haven't been together as a people. and we haven't had the true support of other non-minorities. And I'm not speaking for blacks. We have Asian as well. We have Latinos as well. And really, like I said, everybody in the year 2020, but 25, 40, 25, 30 years from now, that whole census shit, where you come from, when you talk about your nationality, it's going to be so convoluted, man, because the more and more the lines of race are just getting blurred. Like, I don't understand why we still see color like that in the first place.
Pete, my sister's Asian and married an Irishman, right? I mean, like, there's still, you're 100% spot on. It's already has for me, like, what am I? I'm Italian, like Hungarian. You know what I mean? Like we already are like most people, some muddish, right? And like I said, that's why we're all Americans now, because we all so many different places. Who the hell is anybody to act like they control America? Like you've been here the whole time. None of us have. We have been here. All of us have, is my point. Sorry. We've all been here the whole time, right? We might have ancestors that didn't come from here, but we've all personally have all been here the whole time. So we're all one. It's 101 talk. It's common sense. It shouldn't have taken another 25 years to evolve. We should be evolved already. Like I said, I saw racism at 8 years old, essentially, or 9 years old, with my sister in a way. So I've seen it, even though I was in a white community. I seen it. It ended quickly, but I've seen it in different ways. So racism is completely taught in so many ways, and it takes a white community to stand the hell up. That's what it takes, because he's 100% right. Right? Martin Luther King isn't coming out of his grave tomorrow to make a phenomenal speech. It's not happening right now, right? So who's going to do it? Well, LeBron's talked. They've all talked. They've all tried, right? We haven't listened.
And real quick, Prism, I get what you're saying. One black and one Vietnamese. I don't know your nationality, but the thing is, this isn't even on anybody. I'll ask anyone, if it's a police scenario, which one of my white friends would trade my place?
No, like,
you know what I'm saying?
To do it for you, so you don't have to go through it. You mean, or
no, who would swap places? Who I want to ask anyone that is a non-minority, who would be in that position to say, you know what, treat me the same way in the police scenario, treat me like you would a black person. That's the problem.
Yeah.
And I get what people are saying. It's not so much about the friendship, but I mean, there was a poll where there was a black person, a very prominent speaker, asking a panel of white people, like, you all see, it's wrong. How many people would trade their place to live like a black person for one day? No one stood up.
Pete, I've had it one time happen to me, right? So I know it.
Yeah.
Only one time. And I'm not speaking like, oh, I got racially profiled. I got profiled in a different way, but still profiled. Yeah. Okay? With doing nothing wrong, getting thrown to the ground and cuffed, right? And you would have thought I was, I don't know. You thought I was a terrorist the way I was attacked. Okay?
Yeah.
So I see these cops with a badge think they can get a little too aggressive with me as a white guy, right?
Yeah.
White cops. You know what I mean? So I couldn't imagine. I would never want to be in your guys' spot, but I would hop in your spot for you guys any day of the week. You understand? Yeah. That's what I thought you were saying. I would trade spots with you guys. Anybody out of that
sucks, bro.
Every day.
It sucks.
Every day.
We have such a federal, and the thing is, where we're united as a country, we all preach America, 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 USA, USA, USA. But then you get the individualism from state to states and governors to governors, where each, like Kev was saying earlier, you got the guy walking down PA saying it's an open carry state. No, dumbass, you can't open carry in the city of Philadelphia. That's other places in Pennsylvania where you can do that. So you got all this individualism, but when it comes to a police force, you got Bobby Willie Ray that can run an obstacle course that I did in 8th grade and get a fucking badge and a gun and have no type of interpersonal training, no type of social training. And you got them policing neighborhoods for the same things that when they were told 8 years old that these people was dirty. Treat them different. You're above them, but yet they're supposed to go protect and serve. How can you protect and serve when you really feel somebody else is beneath you?
Yeah, it's hard. And absolutely. Listen, there's great cops out there too. I want to make this very clear. I want to say 98% of cops are great, but 2%'s a lot. You understand? 2%'s a lot. So 2% that do things the wrong way don't want to ruin it for the 98% that would get your back in a heartbeat. But the 2 or 5%, whatever it is too much. It's too much. Yeah. There's got to be better. There's got to be better training. There's got to be better psych evals. There's got to be better. There's got to be better. Absolutely. I mean, this murder doesn't even make sense because like the guy's wife's Asian too. So it's like, what? This is not adding up. It's not, you know, and you knew the guy previously. It's just all weird. It's all weird. But guess what? Whatever you think it is, we saw something right in front of her face again. And we had to think about a month ago about a young man, right, who was taken down not by police officers, by people, by civilians. The Civil War's over. You understand? You can't just take people down the street because of color and race. You know, that's not okay. So we got to step up. The North has always been above the South, so let's start acting like it. We've always been above the South. Let the South do what the South does then. But we're not going to fall into the South shit. We've always been above the South. We've always been first, right, boys? We've always, even with the lockdown, we're smart in the South. Always.
The only thing in the South I would say is the racism there is more out in the open. The line in the sand is more clear. To where
in 2020.
It's crazy, bro. It's crazy. It's just up in the North. It's just like you don't know how this person truly feels. Where in the South, it's like, all right, cool. I don't go to that side of town. That's what it is. You don't have that in the North. And the one thing about the George Floyd video, the silence spoke the loudest. I just don't know what the other cops was doing. Like
I
know it, Derek.
Even like that bothers me. Like it's like when I think about all the stuff that we see, and like whenever I see a video of someone doing wrong to another person, I'm not only thinking about the victim. I'm thinking about everyone that is there, everyone that is witnessing that going on. Because I personally I'm blessed and I'm lucky to have never been a victim of racism or prejudice directly. I might have had one or two moments when I was a kid and someone yelled like chink at me, even though I'm not Chinese, I'm Filipino. But that was when I was a kid. But like I've never been directly affected. But then when I see these things happen and I see these people not do anything, it infuriates me to no end. What are you doing? Staying silent. If you are silent, you are complicit. Why are you not helping someone? And I always think about that. And like I posted this status earlier on my Facebook, and it hit me a few days ago when I heard it, because my godson is half Vietnamese, half black, and he's about 7-8 years old. And his mom, who's my sister-in-law, was having a conversation about what's going on so he can be educated and prepared.
I love what he said.
His first thing that he said was, I thought Martin Luther King took care of all of that. Like, can you comprehend that in a 7-8-year-old, he's being taught not only in school that Martin Luther King did all of this, and that's the extent of the black history. That's what he's taught. But then not only that, but in someone that young thinks that racism is so far beneath that it should have been over with a long time ago. But his mindset is on a totally different, like,
grown adults need that mindset. Grown adults need that mindset. That's he's speaking like he's a grown adult with that statement. That's how an adult speaks. You know, listen. What I'm saying is cities are an issue right now, as we still see. Okay, we have to unite. We have to unite people. Okay, you know, and McQuitton said 2020. We should be better. We should be further along with this. Racism shouldn't even be a freaking thing anymore. It should be a very small minority of animals and bad people. That's it. It really shouldn't be anything. But it's always going to be around because there's always going to be scumbags. So it's always going to be around. But us who feel we're all family need to start talking and need to start listening. And we need to march for some changes. Okay? You need to stand with your brothers and sisters, right, of every race. Okay? And demand change on every level. I'm not even talking about police brutality. I'm talking about everything.
Everything.
Life is like this. Life is like this. Mm-hmm. What does it matter? What is this for? Life goes so quick. It's about loving the person next to you, trying to have a great time, all right, and trying to say, I did so much in my life, and I made change, and I had a great life. How great of it would it be to say in 2020 that we changed the world? We have the opportunity to change the world right now. Change it all for the better. Take away hate, okay?
Absolutely.
Peace and unity can overtake hate every day and twice on Sunday. It can. We should want it. It's time. It's time. I stand with everybody. I stand with everybody. Every color, every ethnic background, color, doesn't freaking matter where you're from. I stand with you. A2D and his platform stand with you. And if we got to go marching with you, I'll mask up and go marching with anybody that wants me to, because I'm tired. I'm tired of it. I'm tired of this freaking conversation in 2020. It makes me freaking boil that people are this ignorant and rude still. We can do this all night, man. We're better than fucking Fox News, CNN, all that shit.
Absolutely.
We're just here to tell you. They don't want to tell you. They want the riots, blanket streets of America's cities. They want to divide. The media wants to divide us. They want to. Yeah. George Soros wants to divide us. Billionaires want to divide us and make it rich and poor. This is what they want: rich and poor.
Yeah, I would.
It's been working. It's been working for 50 years, man.
Yeah, I would tell everyone there, like, don't always fall into the trap of what like mainstream media will tell you, because there are like I've been trying to say, there's still hope. There's amidst everything that's been going bad, I still love the fact, and I try to have hope in the fact that we're on the same page. We're uniting. So many people on social media I'm friends with, they're uniting. We're all trying to do something finally. And I have so many, I'm fortunate that I have so many friends who are still willing to stick up and do the right thing. There's hope. Guys, don't believe that every cop out there, like Tom, what you said, is out there brutalizing everyone. Because are there? Yes, there are. But there are cops like right down the street in Camden, peaceful protests, cops marching with the protesters, and unified. And then don't believe that every single protester out there is out there rioting and looting. A lot of the people rioting and looting are just spoiled young people that don't care about the movement. They want to just wreak havoc. Don't fall into that trap. There's a lot of good that should not be overlooked. There is hope. There is always hope. There is good on both sides that I choose to believe in. I know there are good cops. I know there are good people on the other side protesting. It's about unifying and taking that good and building on it.
How hard is it to say, Chucks, I love you, brother. Ryan, I love you, brother. Kev, I love you, brother. Pete, you know I love you, brother. Bryce, I love you. T, Quentin, love you. Anthony, love you. Ted, love you. Right? Prism, love you. Like wherever you come from, love you guys. How hard is it to say that to somebody? Right? How hard is it to say I love you? How much does I love you change everything? Everything. Yeah. How's the person going to fight you? Like, I love you. Nobody's going to fight you. Only animals are going to fight you or say back to you. How hard is that? Right? And that's all I want people to start doing. Right? Change it. Change this. Yeah, and Prism, I've been on a roll because I've been feeling like my entire life that I can't speak about it. Is that fair? Is that fair?
Yeah.
So like that,
nobody wants to listen to that shit, bro. Yeah, like it's like the powers that be don't want to listen.
Like people are going to tune me out, like this guy, right? Like you know, people aren't going to like it. So I have it. So this opportunity has been a lot of built up anger on my end, on what I see happen to all different ethnic backgrounds, but especially what I see in the Black Lives Matter and how important it is, and how important it is to say it and say it to your friends. All right? Yeah. And stop with the all lives matter, because we already know that. We all matter, man. But this isn't what's happening. One last thing. To stop letting them divide and create no middle class. If we fight with each other,
that's the biggest thing.
What they want. If we rally around each other, change is going to happen. They don't want us together. Like we talked about with A2D, right? When you first came here, we're an arsenal together, right? by ourselves. We're just individuals.
Mm-hmm.
Well, if we're an Arsenal, we can make any change we want to because our voices will be heard. If the masses start speaking up the masses start speaking up. And we want change in this country. I should run for goddamn president, man. Woo! I don't need the script. Hey, Kaylee, what's her name? Kaylee, the press secretary. Honey, I don't need the script. You can watch the script. Right? Watch the script.
It's common sense, bro. Go ahead, Rob.
Chuck, so, I to piggyback off of what you said, I'll make an analogy to, I remember in the past on Tuesdays, Wednesdays, on all the days, on all the shows, we had arguments in the past, talking about fan bases when people would try and take shots at Eagles fans or Phillies fans, or Flyers or Sixers, or whatever fan base that you may, be a part of. We have Detroit Lions fans in here, Redskins fans, you name it. And what do we always talk about? There are bad people in every group. There's bad Eagles fans, bad Phillies fans, bad Sixers fans. We know there's bad Cowboys fans.
Great Cowboys fan, right?
Yes, exactly.
My cousin Matt, great Cowboys fan, right?
Mm-hmm.
But we know guys like Mr. Nichols, right? Mr. Jesse, terrible Cowboys fan, right? So
absolutely.
Yes, you're right.
So you look at it, and you can compare that analogy right to what we're seeing in front of our eyes. As soon as we turn on the TV, or as soon as we look at this thing, the phone. That what hurts. There's two things that really hurt, and there's so many things that I can list. I can go on for 3 hours, but the two biggest things are, like you said, Chucks, Tom, Pete. Everyone lumping it all together. You know what I'm saying? That we're going to put this group all together to where they're all the same. That's wrong. Or this group, they're all the same. That's wrong. And to all your points, and you guys are spot on with everything you've said. What hurts is that we're so much better than this. Not as a gender or a race, but just as people, as a nation, as a planet. Because we've seen the good. We see it. And to Tom, your point, Pete, everyone, like we've been saying, the media, it's easier for them to capture the negative because that's what gets the clicks. Like we were joking earlier when I was drafting the, friggin' Marcus Peters of the world. Controversy creates cash. You know what I'm saying? To where it's much more easy to report on the negative. But we've seen it. We just have to open our eyes. We know the positive's possible. We see it every day. But unfortunately, in times like this, it becomes jaded and it becomes forgotten. But that, at the end of the day, I think as a whole, we wouldn't be expecting so much more if we weren't capable of so much more. You know what I'm saying?
Very well said, Ryan.
We'd be normalizing it. And like a ton of people have said and people have been arguing, I just sat back. I've sat back and I've taken this time to listen because, and Chrome, you brought in a quote, and it's funny because it was something similar I was going to say. He had said, I can't. Oh, here it is. He says, I saw a great quote today that resonated with me. I understand that I will never understand. However, I will stand with you. I never act like I know. I know. I don't need to understand to know that there's a fundamental and systematic issue going on. And that's the other thing. People don't have to go through it to understand that there's something wrong here.
I want to know.
Mm-hmm.
I want to hear stories. I want to hear what people have been through. You guys can DM me any day. Anybody in our family, you already do.
I'll tell you one right now.
DM and talk to me. I'm here. I'm here to listen.
I'll never forget. My wife surprised me with a trip to Lancaster for the weekend. This is Lancaster. This is Amish country, right?
Mm-hmm.
We literally go out for dinner, meet another couple, me and my wife and another couple, and we decided let's go to this little spot, have a couple of drinks. Literally walk into a spot, music stopped. You would have thought we were somewhere in Texas. And this is Lancaster, Pennsylvania, bro. I never felt so uncomfortable in my life and before anything else could pop off. And now my wife is half white and half Native American. So that's our kids have so many different things going on with them. I have all girls. I couldn't imagine. I have friends that have 4 or 5 kids and they have all boys. I don't know how you sit there and you look at a little, I got nephews that's anywhere from 1 year old all the way up to 14, where I'm sitting here like, I don't know what to tell you. You know what I mean? Because the biggest issue, and you talked about love. That's all great. I appreciate that. I love everybody. But the biggest thing is I just need people to value my life more than what you value Tom's life. My life isn't worth anything less than any white man walking around. You feel what I'm saying? And that's the biggest issue, to where you feel like the life and the value of life of a minority is not as valuable of that of a white man. And me and Kev, I know Kev's been sitting there, but he kind of had said a bunch of things, like just the way our police force is trained to detain people and take them down. And the man already had handcuffs on. Why are you still sitting on his neck like it's a trophy, like it's a kill, like you just shot a deer? This isn't a trophy pose, you know what I mean? Like, this isn't what this is about. This isn't for you to have a gun and a badge to get your rocks off, to make you feel like you Mr. Important because you got picked on in high school. I'm sorry that happened to you, but if that's what you're using this for, what you're doing now has way more of an impact to that. The saddest part about racism for me is the fact of it's costing people their lives. This isn't some shit where I can go home and cry about it. Somebody called me the N-word. You feel what I'm saying? George Floyd would have loved to have that. But this racism, this prejudice cost him his life. We're not talking about things that you can say sticks and stones may break my bones, but names will never hurt me. That shit's all cool. That I can heal from that. You can't heal from this shit.
Can't heal from that.
Going back.
Yeah, I just want to say I'm sorry. You know, I'm sorry that you had to go through something like that. You know, I'm sorry that, you know, for anybody that has to go through anything like that, where the music stops. I've seen it happen to black friends of mine, you know, firsthand, same types of situations, right? And it's you know, made me sit there and be uncomfortable for them, right? Like you know, but not knowing how they really feel, right? Like, I'm uncomfortable for them, but I don't know how they feel. It's not like we had this big conversation, right? They didn't, even though we were boys, they probably still didn't feel like they could just open up about how they really felt right there in that moment, right? Because nobody listens. We all got it, we all saw it, and we're like, what the fuck, right? But again, it's time for us to listen. Prism, you want the message, you know, spread further? Spread it. I'm here. Spread the freaking message. Peace, unity, listening, understanding, valuing everybody's like the same. How about that? We're all the same. We should all be valued the same. Nobody's above anybody. Nobody's below anybody. We should be all equal. We're all equal. We're all freaking born here.
For me, it boils down to...
We all talk exactly the same. Besides maybe like a Southern drawl, a little West Coast, hippie. We all talk the freaking same. It's one thing if we're having this conversation with the middle freaking East, which you shouldn't even. You understand?
Mm-hmm.
People talk different. Like shit. If we can't get it right here, how the hell are we gonna get it right worldwide? How? How are we gonna have peace and unity worldwide when we fight with freaking each other?
Mm-hmm.
Civil War type shit in 2020. Man, everybody go look in the damn mirror and ask yourself, what can you do better? What can you do better? I can do better. I'm sure I can do better. I can do more. I'm trying to do more. What can you do? If you have a platform, use it.
Yep.
That's it.
For me, it boils down to simple right versus wrong. You know, you teach it at a young age, all up to as you know, all the way through life, and for some reason, we seem to forget that, right? You know, I look at it on one side of the fence.
Press. I made a clip. It's up on. Go to my personal and just scroll.
And ATD. It's on ATD too.
Yeah, it's on ATD too. So just scroll. Sorry, Kev.
No, I mean, if you're looking at simple right versus wrong, you know, I talked about it earlier off air. As far as, you know, detaining somebody if you're a police officer, there's a right way to go about it. There's an easy way to go about it. You know, there's classes for 5-year-olds as young as 5, 6, first grade to teach self-defense and how to take somebody down. You know, in that clip that goes outside of that clip across America, that's not it. Put your knee on the back of somebody's neck while they're already cuffed and, you've got 5 guys standing around. That's not it. But on the flip side of things, we also have to realize, that retaliating by destroying someone else's property, whether it's a store, whether it's a police car, whether it's, a house, just burning things on fire and saying, oh, you hurt somebody that 6 guys removed from me. No, that this is what I'm going to do now. And that's an eye for an eye. That doesn't solve anything ever.
I've never believed
if
that.
if I mean, I'm all
Well,
about going
that's
back
why
at somebody.
this is what like I said, these are terrorist groups. This isn't white or black. These are animals. These are people who want divide. These are people who want overthrow of the government. That's what they want, right? And they want us to follow that lead and buy into it. And people are. That's the thing we have to change, right? We have to change two things: how we treat each other. Hey, Tupac said it years ago, man.
Yeah.
How we eat, how we live, and how we treat each other. Start making some changes.
I was playing that song earlier before the show.
Yeah. I was
that song.
from Florida, and I said, "This is the song, lad. This is the song that has so much truth to it, but nobody wants to listen because the problem is nobody wants to listen to the black man. Plenty are talking. Who's going to listen? So as a white community, that's why I'm stressing: step the hell up. Talk for. Shit, give me a script, LeBron. I'll talk for you.
Yeah,
and he's got a bigger platform than me. But it's a shame because it's almost like I would, Pete knew how I thought about the Kaepernick thing, right?
Yeah.
There was no running from it. Never had a problem with the peacefulness of it, obviously.
Right.
Just had more the issue with the flag, right? That's all. The national anthem.
Yeah.
That's all. I just thought you could do it a different way.
Right.
There's no real problem with it, though. Right? You remember the video.
Mm-hmm.
We're up in arms about we always stand for national anthem. Just stand, dude.
Yeah.
Right? But I don't understand it. Right? I still don't know if it was a publicity stuff for him to make money. I don't know. And I'm not gonna be rude like that anymore about it. You understand? I'm not gonna make it about that anymore. I'm gonna say I should have just listened. I should just listen. I don't do anything like that. I don't do anything to harm people like that, but I should just listen. Just listen.
Yeah, man.
You know what I mean? And not get caught up, right? Not get caught up in what everybody wants you to get caught up in, and just listen and say, regardless how I feel about the guy, regardless that his life wasn't, he didn't go through this,
Right.
but he's doing it for other people.
Mm-hmm.
Remember what Malcolm did in that press conference?
I love Malcolm. Yep.
Remember when Malcolm wrote all those signs, and one of those signs said, "You're not listening."
Malcolm kept it away from football. I always gave Malcolm a ton of credit. That's a man's man. That's a leader of men, and that's a guy who always kept it off the football field. That's why I loved his movement even more, because I felt like he was able to do a great job of separating.
Mm-hmm.
But that happened. Does Malcolm get that voice without Cap?
Yeah.
A good question.
Right?
Good question.
So I'm going to open my arms up to a guy that I didn't like the way he went about things, and say, "Yo, I'm sorry. I should have just listened."
And to add, I mean, Malcolm also, I mean, I don't know if this doesn't take away from anything anyone else did, but Malcolm also, he had the backing of Chris Long. Remember, Chris Long stood right next to him during the anthem, had his hand on his shoulder pads to show his support. That was one of the, correct me if I'm wrong, I could be incorrect with this, but that was one of the first times a white player was supporting a black player protesting. So
that was the first time.
It was the first time. So that also opened up some eyes to
you believe this though? The first time. You know what I mean? The first time. When you talk about football players and athletes, they talk about that divide or that wall is always knocked down.
Yeah.
Because they end up, how are you as a man? They get to know the guy next to them, right? It's so important to talk and listen to people, right? It's so important because that wall can be knocked down.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. Remember the Titans. Maybe go back and watch that.
Yeah.
Right.
Strong side, left side, man.
People need to go back and just wake up and I'm sorry, guys. I just can't believe this is still happening in our life. And to know that, I'm going to bring, I know Chuck's is, and one day I'm going to have a child and bring it into this world. We all are, or if we don't already have it. And you worry a little bit.
A lot of it.
But guess what? Just you raise your kid.
A lot.
Raise your kid to care about the person next to him. And that's another way.
That's where it starts at.
Yep.
I get it with all the platform people at home. That's where it starts. Plant that seed in your home. It's more important what you do inside the walls of your own home than what they hear on social media, because you have a bigger influence.
Listen, I
And
my kid talks, I'll smack the shit out of him like that. You know what I mean?
we out.
You said that.
It's just no value in your life. I'm gonna peel back the curtain a lot. I told you I have 4 girls. My youngest daughter, for a couple years in school, she got bullied, and I talked to her, and she got bullied because of the way she looks. She's a mixed child, so she doesn't really look black. She doesn't really look white. She's kind of somewhere in the middle, but she has my hair. So I was taught to her, break it down like everybody's not. Just teach everybody with love. Come to find out, a couple years later, she was now bullying another kid. As a father, that there made me so much more upset and so hurt because I don't ever want my kid to value what they have over what somebody else has. And that's the core principle. So you nip that shit in the bud right now. But to those people who objected Cap for the whole flag thing, I get it. If you look past all that, like you said, look past all the smoke and the weeds. Was he lying? When he originally was protesting, was he lying?
Nope.
And that was how many years ago now?
3,
Long enough.
4. Yeah,
Long
3
enough.
or 4.
Because Facebook hit me, so I'll never forget it.
Yep.
Yeah, you see what I'm saying? How many more issues, how many more police-related situations have we had since he took that knee? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Far too
And
many.
just furthermore, it hasn't. What have we done? What have we really evolved? If it's one thing COVID-19 showed us is this healthcare shit in this country. It's a system that is flawed in so many ways. And now this situation here, we just see like, yo, these issues. It's almost like that shit where they tell you clean up. Your parents tell you clean up your room, and you clean up your room, but what you do is you push everything underneath the bed. And then eventually something's going to come out again. It's going to pop its head out. And that's how this country treats racism. You feel what I'm saying? And it's not even, it's racism, but it's prejudice. Mm-hmm. It's just the prejudice and the lack of value of the human life. We're desensitized to the value of a human life and what it means, even if you don't know that person.
This is what people do.
Yep. Look the other way.
If I don't see it, it's not real. Right?
You know what's,
if I bubble myself, it's not real. You know, and that's how people are. Get out of the damn bubble, boys. Right? I mean, it's time to see real world shit. I'm gonna say it again. It is time for the people to freaking unite in this country now. Now we can stop all this shit. We can take our whole country back. We can evolve bigger than we ever thought we could. Right? It just takes a little bit of caring, a little bit of freaking listening, a little bit of common sense. That's it. But boys, we love you. We could do this all night.
Yeah, we could, man. It's been half an hour already. Wow.
Fox News. If we started throwing up clips, we'd be even better. You know what I mean? We started throwing up clips. Because look, attacks on police rise during riots. Like I don't even know if that's true. You know, the headlines draw you for hate. The headlines draw you to pick a side. What side? What side? I pick the side of life. That's the side I pick. I pick the side of human race. That's the side I'm always going to pick. What side? I've always said, why do we fight inside the country? Right? We should be fighting against terrorist groups to try to take our country down. That's always been the fight. That's always been the fight. Yeah. Damn it. I hate, and this is why I hate some people. You know what I mean? This is why I hate some people, but love everybody. If that's fair. You know what I mean?
I was going to say, the last thing I'll add real quick, and, I was talking to a few people the other day, and like mid-conversation it hit me because, they were talking about like, oh, why can't people respond, like we did in, after 9/11, and we were going through all these different tragedies. And I said to them, you know what's crazy? I said, why is it that we need a tragedy for people to be good and nice to each other? You ever notice that? So where it takes a tragedy sometimes or a place of, a lot of negativity or, a really bad event or whatever, anything that falls in that category for the positivity and the united nation that we should be each and every day, each and every hour, each and every moment, each and every second of the day. It takes something bad to happen. It's almost like the society needs that to happen first for everyone to be united.
Yeah, no, that's why we have to stop it now.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why we have to stand now and walk with each other and make the change now so history doesn't repeat itself. We don't want history repeating itself. That's a common thing you hear all the time. History repeats itself. Well, guess what's happening right now, people? History's repeating itself times 1,000. Okay? I wasn't really in tune to Rodney King at the time. I was young, right? I was a baby, essentially. Right. So I might have been 10 years old. I wouldn't know enough. It's happening 1,000 times level. Not just in the protests, but everything that the terrorist organizations are doing to place harm and take away from what really happened to Rodney King. Do you see it? Do you see what the left side activists try to pull here? All right, the real left. We're fucking far left. They want this. They want dictatorship. They want control of everything you do. And if they take your eyes off of what's really happening, they'll get it because they're going to think we need them. We don't need nobody. We need each other. We don't need nobody. We don't even need a government, essentially. We need each other. We can rebuild everything. We can rebuild everything we want to do. We don't need anybody. We don't need the military. We shouldn't need the military to protect us against looting and rioting. We're strong enough to protect ourselves. But they want us to think we need it. We need the protection. No. We need to stop the freaking brutality, bullshit, and the racism is what we need to stop. And that's where we end this bitch.
Yeah, man. On some real shit. Very well said. Everything here. I mean, you look at me. I know me and Tom is pretty close. I think we're the same age. We're both 37, if I'm not mistaken. I know Chuck's is a couple years younger, but to hear Ryan say it too, Ryan is significantly younger than us. To even he sees it, and I feel and I fear that young minorities who are coming up now in this fast world that we move so that the pace is so fast that they're just not aware of the history, because guess what? We only really get 1 month to look back on these things. And even in the household, even I've been straight up and said, like, Black people themselves, we don't educate our young ones as much as the history, because we're so hurt. Painful, you try to forget it, like you try to block it out. You try to feel like, all right, that you don't want to talk about the shit that hurts. You know what I mean?
And then think about it. You know, the Europeans did this. The Roman Empire did this. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So like, you know, on both sides, we got to realize that, like, yo, I didn't hurt you. You didn't hurt me. Right? We know what happened, and we're going to be better than that. Yeah. That's how we have to look at it. I didn't hurt you. You didn't hurt me. So how can we be better than what we know in history? How can we be better? Oh, I thought.
Thank you, Seth.
He's not gonna lie. Oh, yeah, my man.
Thank you.
That's why. You peeking so run around. Don't tell the ladies.
You're in your 20s. I'm probably what, 12?
Then I'm 3. I'm 3 years old then. I wasn't even born yet then. I haven't even been born yet.
Right. Yo, me and Pete Evans, 2020. Chuck can be the secretary, the speaker of the house or whatever the hell it is. And Ryan can just
golf
military and golf.
Can I just golf?
Golfing. I don't want to get blamed for it. I don't want to hear I golf too much.
Oh God. Oh God. Another one.
I'll handle the golfing.
Love you guys out.
Guys. I love you guys.
Yeah, man, it's a great show. Great talk. A2D is not going to be a platform that shies away from it, man. When we don't hit it often, but we see something like this where you really can't get away from it. And being this multinational platform that we have, and especially not just us who present the content and who talk and on camera, but the fam out there, you guys probably all walks of life, and we don't need to know what it is. I don't need to know your history. If you ride with me, we ride with you, man. For real. So it's definitely felt good to get that off the chest. There's a couple of times there I had to catch myself. I thought I was about to get emotional because the shit's crazy. Like I can't believe
you got me going
for real, bro. It's like when you look at my wedding picture, I had 3 white groomsmen, 3 black. No issues whatsoever. Why everybody can't take that sight and just look at life, not skin, life, pro-life. We say all lives matter, Black Lives Matter. I really just life itself, man. Just value your life, value the next man's life as much as you value your life. Know that man has a family that he wants to go home to and that has loved ones that care about him the same way that you do. You know what I
Absolutely.
mean?
Good.
So that's
evil. That's always
yes.
fight. Good versus evil, and let's have good prevail. Time for
Yes.
good to prevail.
Yep.
And listen, everybody listening. Gongos, you missed it. You know you can go back and watch it as soon as we end it, brother. So you can go back and listen to the Donald talk and all that fun stuff.
Yeah. Aaron Donald did go number 1, so don't worry.
Yes, he
And
did.
I think Prism says he has a job interview tomorrow. Good luck with that, Prism.
Yeah, bro. Good luck.
Good luck,
Good
man.
luck.
And be safe. Well, guys, it was another great talk. Enjoyed the past 40 minutes of, just going off the rails here, and it was great. I love it when we do these random talks like this, and it's real talk. We talk about real talk. This is real talk, and this is
good.
we're at our most genuine.
I don't care how people say it. I feel obligated, and not that. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't take obligated the wrong way. I don't want obligated to be the wrong way, but I feel like I need to finally talk about it, right? And if I have a platform to preach it and make a stand, I'm going to do it. And if people don't like it, they can unfollow me. They can unfollow it. If you're not in the peace, unity, good versus evil, unfreaking follow me. If you don't care about the person's life next to you, unfollow. If you do, follow, spread the freaking word, right? Say it. Say it to the friend next to you, Black Lives Matter, and call it a day. And how easy is that?
Absolutely.
Good talk, boys. This is better than psychiatrists for people.
Yeah, who needs psychiatrist?
You know what I'm saying?
It's the couch, bro.
I really feel like I could run, man. I really feel like I could run one day. I'm starting to feel like I could make a run for this shit one day. It's coming. It may be my side hustle.
Yeah. If they ask you what party you're part of, just tell them you're part of the A2D party. No worries about Republican, Democrat. No, you're the A2D party.
It's middle. We're common sense party. About that party.
Yeah. Logic.
We'll do a common sense party. Hashtag common sense party. A2D radio. That's the hashtag. Common sense party.
There you go. Voting for that all day. All day.
I'll be deleted off of this, I'm sure. Doctor, take us down.
All right, guys. Everyone listening still, thank you so much for tuning in tonight. We had a great show. All those who had to sign off as well, thank you so much for your support. Again, catch us on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, Instagram. Download us on Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, Twitch too. I keep forgetting Twitch, which is the last. But catch us. If you didn't, you can go back and watch a show. Catch all of our shows the rest of the week. You guys have a show tomorrow, right?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
The Fix in the PM, as we are calling it, kind of the blend of the two.
I'm going to get taken right out of it. It's unbelievable. No, guys.
Blame Andy.
Then we got Hockey Happy Hour and
Good guest.
Pronger this week.
Pronger. Oh my God. You cannot miss Chris Pronger coming on this Thursday with Hockey Happy Hour. Definitely don't miss out. And we got all of our other shows. Friday, we got the new show. Don't miss out on that one. New Eagle show on Friday. What's the name of the show, Tommy?
On the road
to victory. Real quick. Damien says F Trump, right? I just want to say something. That's the hate I'm talking about. Stop hating. We don't want hate anymore. Stop hating. There's no point. You know what I mean? You spread love to people. That's all. I'm just saying you're wasting your time. Have your opinion. I don't say you're wrong. just you know what I mean? But like just shower with love, bro. That's it. And Jay, shut the hell up, okay, Jay? Why don't you spend 5 hours now? Spend 5 hours. Spend 5 hours. You won't do it. All right, you won't do it. Just stay tuned and read the title. No, we didn't have any Eagles go.
I don't think we
I'm about to say not one Eagle player got drafted.
Nope, not one.
Yeah. And Saturday, weekly roundup. Got agree to disagree on Sunday, as well as I'm missing one on Sunday.
In this very ring Saturday.
This very ring. And then Sports Hounds on Monday and the rundown as well. So guys, tune in all of our shows. And again, we cannot emphasize this enough. Stay safe. Stay safe out there and spread the love. We are all together in this, guys. Unity. Stay safe and God bless. And we will see you guys next week. We got coaches. It's the coaching staff time. Guys in charge. The coaches draft. All right, guys. For myself, Tommy, Pete, Brodo, Chrome off camera, and Kevin off camera, We will see you guys next week. Later.
Peace.